All right, all right, all right. Hello, 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 and welcome in, my friends, once again. Seru, hello, how are you, buddy? Oh, excellent. Sitting down with a beer. Well, my bud, cheers to you. All right, so we are back tonight with session number 73 of Unlikely Heroes. That's right, session 73. Rhymes with Re. And speaking of Re, a lot of crazy shit that happened last session had to do with Re and Re's people, so this is going to be interesting. So we're going to do our quick session recap, jump into the game. You guys know how I am. I may pop in and out once in a great while as far as the chat stuff is concerned, but it's pretty slim. So I'm exhausted as fuck, but surviving. Well, you know what? Survival is all that matters. It is the key to human existence, because without it, you don't exist. Anyways, kick back, relax, have a beer or two or three or six, and enjoy yourselves because we're in for another crazy ride here with Unlikely Heroes. I don't think I have any specific notes for this week as far as like chat is concerned, but if you haven't noticed yet, we are now streaming our Saturday campaign, which is campaign 2. Campaign 1 completed about 3 years ago. Campaign 2 is our Saturday campaign, which we're playing midday. I've uploaded that to YouTube as of this morning if anybody is interested. Next Saturday, next week Saturday, which is June 3rd, we are going to be finishing Midnight Metal, which is awesome. So hopefully, if we don't finish Midnight Metal, then I'm not gonna lie, I think that ship is just gonna blow up and we're gonna call it a done deal, because I promised a one shot and it turned into two, and I know what happens if I don't stop it at two. Hi, welcome to session 73. Okay, anyways, yeah, so next Saturday, 5 till 11, maybe 11:30 midnight. It just really depends on like where it's at. I don't think it's going to take 4 hours if we really continue to push it, but we'll see. Anyways, I digress. Sit back, relax, enjoy yourselves, and Creative One 7302 session, you say? No, God, 70. Woof, God, how many fucking years would that be? That'd be terrible. 7302 divided by 52. That would be holy Jesus. Not good. I actually did that math backwards, I think, but I digress.
That's 140 years.
That's 140 years. Okay. We ain't got that kind of time. I don't plan on living that long. I'm dying when I'm 100. Anyways, Creative, thank you for being here. I also malnourished and not thinking. Malnourished? Get some fucking food. Go get some motherfucking food. We had Indian food tonight. We had the most delicious tikka masala, and we had a tandoori chicken that was so fucking hot that I'm telling you, I had to stop eating it, and it was the first time in my life, I have ever eaten something so hot that I could not physically continue, guys. It was crazy. All right, guys, kick back, relax, enjoy some Unlikely Heroes. Let's get into it. Bless you. All right, guys. So, session number 72 recap. So the session began with the Speak with Dead spell that Doc performed on the corpse. The corpse gave you some information about somebody's got a hot mic, just so you guys know. I'm not sure who it is.
I think that's me, actually. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. So the Speak with Dead spell did give you guys a little bit of insight as to who this person was. He wound up being the medical officer who was on board the ship that came from dark space, initially from Mount Celestia going to the Shadowfell. That was confirmed, and then obviously before it got back to Mount Celestia from the Shadowfell, got exploded into the Prime Material. The guy also told you, I think he had told you pretty much everything else that you guys had already known, at least in some way, shape, or form, except for the fact that the Captain Galahad, when you asked about how or what was the treatment for the people who had been stricken with the shade-touched disease, instead of giving you an answer that you wanted to hear, he told you that Captain Galahad was having those infected executed before they reached Mount Celestia because there was a fear of an infection spreading through the population, which, you know, a place inhabited by angels, solars, and Asmar would not be good to have a shadow touch disease. So, After that happened, you guys decided, okay, well, we're going to collect all the loot that we find on the ground here. Let's get the hell out of here and make way for wherever we need to go. Did a little bit more of like an involved search of the town just to make sure there was nobody hiding. And that is when the goblins began to arrive back in Poodoo with the the shadow now lifted from the village itself. The goblins began to flock back in small squads. And that is when Ree bumped into her brother Chuck. Not dead Chuck, alive Chuck. There's a how much wood could a woodchuck chuck joke in there somewhere, and I haven't figured it out yet, but I will make it happen. So you bumped into Chuck. There was very happy, excited moment between the two of you, and a long explanation about how they had all fled into the hills and into the mines. And that was pretty much it. They were just awaiting the shadow to kind of disappear. And then the shadow did disappear and they started to come back, because that's what goblins do. More than that, it was also very openly announced that because there was a lot of people killed in this onslaught, it was time for, I hate to use the term, but goblin orgy. And goblins reproduce kind of like rabbits. They have a very short gestation period, but it kind of is because they have a short lifespan in general. And that's not because they're idiots and they die quick. It's just because their bodies break down at a level that is faster than a lot. I mean, their metabolism is like 5 times faster than a human. So.
And they are also idiots and they die quickly.
And they are also absolutely idiots and they die very quickly because of said idiocy. Which is why they repopulate as fast as they do. And without even thinking twice, it was like, all right, yeah, we had 35, 40, 50 dead. Time to fuck. And that was pretty much it. So we had left off at the sake of brevity goblin orgy that happened throughout the night.
You sure you don't want to we don't want to go into detail about this?
It's the sake of everything.
For the sake of everyone's sanity.
Listen, I was going to say, you guys have heard me put together some pretty atrocious sound clips that are played during combats. I don't think you wanted me to do the ambient goblin orgy.
There are some things I won't unhear.
You guys log in next week on Sunday, and I'm not here, and Candace is like, I had to have him committed. It was just too much for me.
We had to put him down.
Yeah, we had to put him God, it's worse than getting fixed. All right, so we had left off there. Your guys' plan, as far as I understood it, was that you were going to take a few days to rebuild to help rebuild the town post situation through this night. And it was going to take you a little while, but you guys had kind of dedicated yourselves to doing that. And if I'm not mistaken, it was going to take you until Friday the 1st of Jewry, I think. Yeah, Jewry. In order for you guys to make that complete. I have it circled on here because I think I said it was going to be a week and a couple days for you to really help get stuff rebuilt. But you can leave before that. I mean, once their population goes back up, that'll be good. So, anyways. Okay, so that's where we'll pick up. We are picking up at, it is Wednesday, the 22nd of Jutet at 11 a.m. However, we are intending on pushing through a sake of brevity kind of like speed build. If you guys are still cool with that, cool. If not, if there's anything you want to do in between, then we can do that as well. But if not, it is assumed that you're going to be working pretty much day and night to help these creatures get themselves put back together. With that being said, session number 72's XP recap was 1,000 XP. For 1,000 XP even, and that was all roleplay because there was some really fantastic roleplay, especially between the different goblins that you guys interacted with. And that puts Gray at 44,781, Aurora at 44,019, and the remaining two party members at 46,849. Just as a reminder, level 9 is 48,000, so you guys are very, very quickly approaching that threshold.
Sorry, Xavier, can you say mine again?
Yeah, absolutely. It's 44,781.
Did you say the XP at the end of last session?
He
'Cause
did.
I already
He did.
have that.
I did, yeah, it's because
Already.
it's... Yeah, this is just me kind of recapping it. I do have a note here that I had mentioned already, but...
Sorry, that threw me off because normally we do it this like the next session.
I think the only reason I told you guys last session is because I was so excited about the RP that I was giving you guys extra for it.
And you wanted to think something to think about besides Goblin Orgy?
Yeah, I was really trying to burn that out of my brain.
You'll live rent-free forever, buddy.
For sure now. Okay, any questions, comments, or clarifications?
No, I just have a slight description of something Aurora would like to do when she's not helping build, or even when she is helping build.
Okay, sure.
Please fire the goblins.
You know, that was a contemplation, but no, it's not your hometown, so we can let them live. No, she's just going to try and continue just making nice with, dragon voice in her head and be respectful and show that she is willing to learn and all of that. She's trying not to piss the thing off and get on some good graces before the next fight.
Okay, so,
So she's going to ask questions that are focused on, like, trying to get the thing to talk about itself a little bit more, or, like, the history, or just stuff to show that she's taking it seriously. And since it's all internal, I'm sure it could happen while building goblin huts.
yeah, so as you are kind of going throughout the next week and couple days with the labor, and not really focusing so much on the magic and combat and, world of the arcane, but still reaching inwardly and talking to this entity, there's no real conversation. Like, once it called you a whelp, it just kind of shut down. But every once in a while, never in answer to your questions, but always randomly, like you'll put down like a pail of like rubble, right? And you'll go to take a couple steps and you'll just hear shit. And you kind of like instinctually just stop and take a seat, take a breather for a minute, and you get back up and go about your business. And then, you'll be sweeping something and you'll hear faster. And oh god, gotta pick up that pace just a little bit. But it's never, ever, at least during this time frame, it's never in response to you questioning it. It is commanding you.
She'd probably then stop with some of the questions then, but like the feeling would still, like, she wants to know. And she's very deliberately never going to challenge this thing, even if she's not super happy about it getting ordered, nor is she telling Doc. She's not going to tell Doc that the voice in her head is ordering her around, because that seems like a bad idea.
That does seem like a very bad idea. So at the we'll say at the tail end of this week and 2 days, you are putting the finishing touches on one of the thatched roofs, and you're assisting a couple of the goblins, as you have a little bit more strength than honestly most of them do. And you're small enough to where you're not going to fall straight through the damn thing, unlike, Gray, whose weak ass couldn't climb the ladder anyways. But anyways, I digress. So you get to the top, and you do finally hear something more than what you had heard throughout the week, and that is...
It'd be a crying shame if the entire village were to go ablaze before you left, wouldn't it? You've done good. Good girl.
Well, she's not going to fireball the place in response to that.
It did not feel like it was trying to pressure you to do that. It was just trying to get in your head a little bit more than it already had been, as it was pretty much commanding you. But the key thing to take away is, I would assume anyways, from Aurora's standpoint especially, is that it did very particularly say good girl. Like, it gave you a compliment, which it has not done since the moment it entered your mind the first time.
She didn't get called a whelp for a moment. So then she'd just pause for that half second and then, like, go back to focusing on work, because Yeah.
All
Without
right.
burning down the place, because that would require staying here longer and answering the dock.
True. Okay, so you guys, have moved through this 2-week period. You have completed the main chunk of construction. There's still some small things that are left to be done, but you guys were there pretty much for the. And I hate to say this because I know that your party's intellect as a whole is on the lower tier, but compared to a village of goblins, you guys were the brains to help this operation function as smooth as it possibly could.
Oh no.
It is also, surprisingly, that at the end of this week and 2-day period, there are dozens of female goblins walking around in a very, very impregnated state. Ree is not one of those goblins, just so we're clear. I may or may not have made a couple of rolls throughout the week on that one, and I was like, okay, I don't even know how to fucking justify this one way or another. And then when I came to my conclusion, I made the roll and said, we're just going to stick to it with whatever it is, and thank God it was not, because I was been like, I think that would have been really like, all right, fuck it, put the baby in a backpack, let's go kill some giants.
Oh yeah, baby Bjorn.
Very likely. Yeah.
We gotta raise this little motherfucker right.
Mama didn't raise no bitch!
Her name is Wee.
Yeah,
Oh, can you re-roll one more time?
yeah.
If it was a guy, it'd be Chuck again, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
It would be CHZUQ.
Yeah, so I wouldn't re-roll even if you guys begged me, because the first time Ree gets hit with a fucking AoE and the baby gets cooked to death, you guys are gonna hate me. Everybody in the world will hate me, you baby-killing bastards.
No, so it turns out the baby was actually like child of a dragon, and
That's the
there we
dragon you've
go.
been sensing this whole time.
Yeah, that's it. Oh no, I don't want Ree to give birth to Death Dragon.
With the Death Dragon's on our side, I'm good.
All right, so we are saying at this point, if there's nothing else anybody had of importance while the hard labor and the intellectual rebuild of this town happened, partially through a new generation, partially through you guys' raw wit, what would you guys like to do? So, Candace, you would have to, on the 28th, perform the Gentle Repose again, because that is when that would have been up. But... So we will say that it is Friday, the 1st of Jury, at about noon, when you guys have happily completed what you needed to. The goblins prepare a pretty large community-style feast, which is actually the area that they live in is pretty ripe with decent wildlife, regardless of their own eating habits. There's some weird exotic things like from down in the mine shaft, like bats and cave rats and slugs and things like that. But they also do bring in venison and wild boar and things like that. So that you guys sit, everybody's offered food, water, rations for the road should you need, as now it is evident that your time here is probably coming to an end.
I have a question.
Sure.
How many days are in Jujutet? So that I know, because I know I recast on the 28th. I'm trying to figure out how long it works, or is it 30?
Oh, I'll give you that in just 1 second. Yeah, so there's 30 days in Jutet. And if I'm not mistaken, it's 10 days, isn't it?
It is. So
It is. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Also, to make sure I'm not cheating, I did get the Javelin of Lightning back after that battle, right?
You remember you saying that you picked it up.
I thought so. I just wanted to.
I mean, even if you didn't say that, you guys haven't moved more than 20 feet into the wood line of the village as a whole, so I would have assumed that you would have been like, oh, I need to go get my fucking
Just
javelin.
making sure.
If I'm not mistaken, too, you threw it, like, point blank in the face
I
of one of
did,
them,
yeah.
didn't you? Yeah, so but, I mean, you've got it.
I just wanted to make sure because I have it listed. I thought I remembered saying it.
Throughout the week, or at least now, since I didn't mention it before, I want to keep an eye on whether or not there's still a death dragon within a mile or so.
Every time you activate that ability, yes.
Okay. Hate it, but that's also somehow reassuring at the same time. And she would keep everyone apprised. Sorry.
I like the idea of just a goblin running around with an electric javelin.
No.
I think that Doc is intelligent enough to have not allowed that, because as soon as they do figure out how to use it, I mean, we're back at square one.
Yeah.
Listen, the cat did her in.
Suppose so.
We're saving it for Ree Junior, the wee the wee little goblin.
All right, so what are you guys doing?
So yeah, we'd probably eat here, and then where did you want to try Underhill, and then just you go in with Chuck?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess I'm not banished from there. I guess that might work.
I don't think she should go in entirely alone.
No, you should go with her. Obviously, Gray and I will stay out, but I think that's probably a better bet than the nearby encampment. Just kind of trying to be careful.
Isn't that like Dwarven capital, just a bit out of the hills?
Yeah, I mean, we also have whatever that town is called.
I don't know anybody there very well.
You know, Beaufort. Isn't Beaufort there?
I don't think that helps. I think that makes it worse. I'm not being mean, I'm being serious. I'm pretty sure that makes it worse.
If we were to find a temple for this, and we can guarantee it'd be there, most likely.
I mean, do you think they would help goblins there, though? That's my question.
I feel like if we pay them, they'll help anybody.
That's what I was gonna say. Here's the other thing, though. I don't know how much they will charge to do something like that. We have the materials, but it doesn't mean they're not going to charge for labor, for lack of a better term. Underhill, I feel like we might be able to go back there and see if we could get help from Garl's temple, because you're a member of that temple as well. I don't mind either way. It's your family. Wherever you want to go.
Keep in mind the little debacle that happened before, well, just after we left. So that might, well,
that's fair.
Bite us in the ass.
Oh.
Underhill is also considerably closer. We should consider where else we have to go and see if there's something along the way. Perhaps that might be easier than venturing days out of the way, days back to bring Chuck back, and then going again to where we need to go.
I mean, maybe the camp that we were at before. I think that's at least a good place to start.
Okay.
Yeah,
As long as you're comfortable.
I mean,
Why don't we ask the guard to send a message?
To who? To the camp?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Could you do that?
What is the name of the hobgoblin that was guiding us? It's Grimshaw.
Yay! You took notes! You can have an inspiration point. I have my note, too. I took it because I gave that name on the fly.
So, maybe, I don't know if Grimshaw would know. He just seems like, well, the tour guide.
Oh, well, I mean, like, I'm talking about, like, the Booyah lady who was, like,
Yeah. The one, yeah.
kind of creepy.
I didn't get her name.
I feel like she's creepy enough to bring people back to life.
Do you have to know her name, or do you just have to know her?
Give me a second, I'll check my spell. Even then, I barely know her. We only saw her once, and it's someone I have to be familiar with.
I mean, like, not familiar. Are you talking about, like, like seeing each other naked familiar, or like what?
I feel like simply knowing the name. would be
Okay.
Fine.
Well, maybe try Grimshaw, and if Grimshaw, and just, you know, let Grimshaw know if you don't know the answer, can you have her reach out and let him know your name?
Or ask Grimshaw, and also ask Grimshaw her name, because you met her once, and then the name, because we don't know if she can do your Suyag.
Right.
Alright, I might as well try. Can I cast Sending to Grimshaw?
Absolutely. You perform your incantation, and as you finish the last of the somatic components with a snap, you hear the all too familiar static click into existence as you feel a direct connection to Grimshaw's mind. What do you say?
Hello, Grimshaw. This is Gray. The man with Ree. Do you know if your leader can cast Resurrection or Revivify? I think that's the max I can have.
I think that's raised head.
Okay, so the spell, that was your 25 words?
Yeah, that was my full 25, yeah.
Okay, so you feel the zzz as the spell sends the message. There's a moment of pause, and then you hear the and you hear in your mind,
Not entirely familiar with Grey, but I know Reed. You talking about our clan shaman? What's a resurrection? What's a revivify? What the fuck are you talking about?
and the message ends with a zip.
I should have known. This is on me. I apologize.
Good thing it doesn't cost you anything to cast the spell.
Except spell slots.
Yeah,
We
that's
could-
true.
We could, I mean, we could just try the Helmcar.
We could just walk there if we're going to, well, the place I don't want to go, then we're going to have to go through there to get to the gate again anyway.
Sure.
And that might
Well.
be on the way to Underhill as well. No, I'm sorry, I'm
on.
tired. I cannot remember any city names right now.
Where are we going after we get Chuck back?
Or
Well, I have to bring it back here.
We'll
Unless-
bring him back here, and then we have one more piece of ship to investigate.
Lucy, I'll help you out if you need descriptions here.
So we are going to go far to the south then. Okay.
Didn't it land like in the water? I don't remember exactly where it landed.
We have a map. Hold on.
Yep, we have a map that shows that, and
Oh,
Aurora would
right.
get out said map.
All right, give me one sec.
Been removed.
No, that was the other map.
That's a big fucking circle.
Well, the medic, head physician or whatever, said that it landed in the swamps. So wouldn't that be the place close
Oh.
to the Tower of Magi? We might need to check out.
So just so you guys are aware, as far as the way that the maps are drawn, especially the common map of the continent, swampland, it would be this down here.
I think the map actually have red.
It did.
Spots.
We had
I
little
had
dots, I
a
thought.
soft wax map, and it is almost exactly that.
I was gonna say, you guys have in your inventories an entirely different map that you can pull up, and that is this.
Yeah, that's the swamp.
Soft wax map with going, so it's almost exactly in that spot.
Yeah.
All right, so the only reason we would want to go to Helmcar is if Helmcar had a faster way to get us south. And I think that we have more friends further south than we do anywhere up up there.
And I sort of pissed off Bofer, so if he does have sway in Helmcar,
Well, I mean, he still likes me.
yeah. I mean, I think he still likes me too. He just wasn't real happy because I wouldn't kill his ex-girlfriend.
Well, we could no, she doesn't even touch that one. Well, we could always see if Xavier could perform a what is that? A teleportation?
Again, money is my concern. How much money do we have? I know we found some, but
You could also probably say some sweet words, and he might be more willing to help. And I'm
true, I guess.
Pulling up the inventory. As for what we have, much less than we did before. Probably about 2,000 gold, give or take. Combining everything, the copper, the silver, the platinum, the gold. Probably about that.
Okay.
I mean, I have about 1 million.
That's true.
Goblin logic.
I have close to 2,000 gold in total.
So there are options then, and none of the options that we need to consider involve going anywhere near Helmcar. Glad that we have sorted out that part. Should we?
I don't know. I still feel Helmcar would be our best option because where we currently are.
Yeah, it's really close.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
why
is
don't we
currently
do
close.
this? Can
We do also. I'm also wanted in Middleton, and we're not allowed to enter Underhill.
Yeah, we're running out of places to be able to go.
What about some of the others? What would I know about Forston or Lumbercamp Riptide or any of that? In terms of
according to this map,
possible
they look like-
availability of mages specifically.
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time for me, Kat?
Yep. With my background, what what might I know about Forston or Lumbercamp Riptide and whether or not might be a temple with someone capable?
Okay, so go ahead and give me 2 history checks. The first one will be for Lumbercamp Riptide, and the second one will be for, you said, were you asking about Riverton? Is that what I heard you say?
I said Forston.
Oh, Foreston. Yeah, go ahead and give me 2. We'll go Lumbercamp, Riptide, Foreston in that order. And give me one moment. I got one more thing to add here since we're doing... I honestly should have probably put this on earlier.
Yeah, I forgot my brain doesn't do the thinky as well as it used to, so yeah, this is going very well. So I just know that she's not going to know anything from that, so just looking at the map. There's also the Circle of the Land. We had...
Oh, shit. Yeah, sorry, you're rolling real bad. Long story short, so you know about Lumbercamp Inferno. You don't know anything about Lumbercamp Riptide, but what you do know is that both of them are lumber camps. And you also know that Forreston is a very reclusive settlement set in a very densely wooded pine forest. And the only little bit of info that you've ever had from there is that the clans of Mogu Mogu and Croak Tar do not travel there because that is where the ancient pine treants are said to still walk among the civilian population. And you guys just don't fuck with nature on that level.
Yep, that's very fair. Okay. So then Aurora would say we could always go south to the Circle of the Land. We had decent luck with the Circle of the Moon. I'm sure we could mention that. The tree speak or something like that. I'm sure they know.
We could try that out. Or would Chuck be okay coming back as something else, though? Would you be okay with that?
I mean, I'd rather Chuck kind of come back as he was. Personally, I don't know what Chuck wants, but I'm sure he doesn't want to. I assume he doesn't want to be anything other than a goblin.
There are a few of us that know what can happen, so... why don't we do this? Gray, are you able to send another message? And if so, can you send it to the priestess at Carl Glittergold's temple to see if Bree and Aurora are allowed?
I don't think Gray ever met her. I'm almost positive Gray never met that woman.
Never went into that temple.
Nope. Very particularly never went into that temple.
The only time I would have met her is when Doc died, and that was mainly Cat talking to her.
That's right.
Aurora.
I forgot
Yeah,
that I
because
can do
you
it.
were in jail too.
I forgot that I can do it now. I'll send. I don't want to get her in trouble. Because if we are wanted and they find out that she heard.
I mean, just don't tell her where we are. Also, I sincerely doubt Underhill is gonna walk all the way to the goblin camp in the hills.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about her getting punished for me contacting.
Now, why would she get punished if you reach out to her?
You were told you couldn't return there, not that you couldn't reach out to anyone there.
Okay.
I feel like it's the same as, like, you know, her getting her head cut off because you sent her a letter. That's kind of shitty.
Yeah, so, and just for the sake of clarification, when the actual, like, legal documentation was laid out in front of you, it was very clearly written that you are not physically allowed back in that city or via astral projection. Your presence can't exist in that city in any physical form. Did not say anything about messages, letters, sending, any of that crap, so.
Okay. So I'll cast sending, and it's gonna be to her, and it's going to.
Sorry, can you clarify her who?
The priestess of the temple, Carl Glittergold. I'll have quite a few notes to go back. One second. Sorry, I'm digging. Mistress Runefall?
Nope. I mean, you can send it to Mistress Runefall if you'd like.
No.
But you know that that's not the priestess's name.
Yeah, I had 2 notebooks, and I have to go to that.
Okay, so I mean, you're familiar with her presence and you know her face, so the spell sending does not say you have to have a target's name, you
Yeah.
just have to be familiar with them. I mean, you are more familiar with that woman than anybody else in
Right,
this party. And so I'll give it to you. I'm sure it's in your notes, but it's Clanesh Goldencaw.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna send her, let me think it through really quick here.
And if you want to be fancy about it, technically, it would be a High Priestess Goldencaw.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, hope you are well. We are okay. Ree's brother died. Need raise dead cast. Have materials. Can we come see you? Not me and Ray.
So you feel the static as the spell goes off and the message sends. You hear the familiar static pick back up.
Oh, Doc, my sweet Glitterbright. I'm glad that you're all right. Obviously, you're not welcome here, nor is Mr. Gray. But if you have a corpse and materials, we can probably make that happen. You are a sister of the cloth, so you understand what is required. Send the materials, and let me know the spell. Save for a true resurrection.
It's at this point, Doc, that you realize she has said way more than 25 words, and the spell is still going.
If you should be in need of anything else before whoever brings the corpse requires, let me know in a note, or perform another sending spell. I look forward to hearing from you, Doc. Be well.
She'll be silent for. Ray will probably notice longer than she should have been receiving a message, but
Yeah, Gray, roll an insight check for me.
Rhea and Aurora are like playing goblin dice in the meantime while the casters do their shit.
Yep.
Ree's like, I'm out of cash! Somebody give me a baby! Okay,
You
20.
guys got spares?
I know one of you assholes had twins! So, Gray, you see, I mean, you know the incantation. Spell goes off, she whispers the incantation, boom, gone. You see Doc's eyes kind of vibrate, and you realize that she is receiving a message. And the message goes on. And on. And on. And when it finally finishes, when Doc's eyes stop vibrating, and you see the spell cease, your best estimation based on that insight check is that that message was at least 3 times the normal length of a regular reply. That a regular reply would allow.
Gray's just gonna sigh and go off.
so Doc will she'll have like kind of a sad smile, I guess, on her face. Okay, Underhill will probably be our best bet. Obviously, Ray and I can't go in, but she said she's more than happy to help as long as we can provide the materials. So.
Okay, so what do we need? We need like these gems that Chuck gave me, right? I mean that'll do.
The gems that Chuck gave you?
Yeah, Chuck gave me a bunch of gems. What did he give me? He gave me 4 of these diamonds, and she'll show them. She got like They're tear shaped. They're kind of nice. Pretty.
Oh wow.
As soon as Ree shows those, Doc, you immediately recognize those. Actually, Aurora, you would also immediately recognize those as God's tears. And God's tears have been created. They're naturally forming diamonds, and they happen to have the perfect weight for the use of a Revivify spell. They're 300 gold piece value each. And they're referred to as God's tears because, you know, the old tales of the religious texts talk about the gods needing a physical object to manifest their divine revivification magic, and in doing so, they wept for humanity as a whole, meaning all of the sentient races, and these things fell into the mountains and into the land, and were just awaiting finding for use in this very specific spell.
Actually, those ones would be better for, like, on the spot bringing back to life. We do have some for Raised Dead already, though. We had quite a few diamonds, so we're good.
Oh, okay.
Xavier, is there anything else? Because she said, you know, you're a sister of the cloth, you know what we need, blah, blah, blah. So is there anything else I would know that we would need outside of...
What does the spell require? What spell are you trying to cast? And
It'll be Raised Dead.
okay, then look up Raised Dead, and you'll know exactly. I mean, you know, because you can cast the spell, can't you?
No.
Oh no, you can't cast
I'm
the spell
high
yet.
enough level yet.
Okay, I'll tell you what. You know what? We don't have anybody in this party who can cast it from memory. Make a religion check for me, please. Okay, 16's not bad. So 16, you are aware that you will require a diamond, one singular diamond worth at least 500, and the spell will consume the entirety of said diamond. And that is it. The only other requirement is that the target can be dead for no longer than 10 days. However, because you are watching for the second that Chuck's, what the fuck is it called? Gentle Repose jumps, he's only technically been, well, you don't know how dead he was before you got to him, but you know that you're only ticking a second away every 10 days or so.
Yeah, I know that I rolled a ridiculous, you gave me an estimate, I think he was at 6 or 7.
He was pretty close to the 10-day mark.
Yeah.
But again, you've bought yourself 20 days for the cost of 6 seconds.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so okay.
So what? We just need a bigger diamond. We couldn't just like mush these diamonds together to make
No,
like.
it has to be one. The way the spell works, it has to be one. But we have.
One more point, Candace, really quickly, one more point because of your religion check, is that you know that if and when he succeeds at coming back, he is going to be very, very sick for probably somewhere between 3 and 5 days.
Actually, I don't know if we do have a Raised Dead. She's gonna look through she's gonna start digging through her bag.
Okay.
Well, okay. So what if we bring these diamonds to another place and then they make a bigger diamond out of these smaller diamonds?
If we can do that, that's fine. But it has to be one. It has to be one. It can't be.
Right.
We have the diamonds to do it. I'm not worried about that.
Candace, make a history check and do it with advantage. This is because of gnome things.
Hashtag gnome things.
Hashtag.
Cool.
Now trending on Twitter. Wow. Good lord. Okay, disregard that fucking...
Stop
Yeah, everyone's failing their history check.
Stop what?
Stop thinking like a tabaxi. That's obviously why you rolled like that.
I have so much fruitful historical information for you fucking people, and you just constantly roll crap.
Well, if someone had made me lose like 5 points of intelligence.
Shut up and let me fight a dragon, I don't know. Oh, dragon, you say? No, sorry. Hey, whoa, hold on. You said I made you lose 5 intelligence. Who took a breath?
I think Gray. I think it's Gray.
We're obviously blaming Gray for everything, of course, as we do.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because
I'm also okay with this.
4/16/23, my first note is Gray gave the fucking gem to his creepy mentor. What an asshole. So, pretty sure we're blaming you. So if we can find somewhere that will give us the bigger size diamond, we do need to do that. I can't guarantee that they'll have anything in Underhill for that. I know that we're right by Helmgar. I know that they have a bunch of guilds there. I don't know if there's anyone that can do that.
Okay, so when Doc says that we are right by Helmcar, I'm very used to maps. How far would this be to try and travel to Helmcar? Because that looks like a not short walk to me.
From where you guys are right now?
Yeah, because aren't we further over to the west part of the range?
You are. So it took you guys like a day and some change to get from the Hobgoblin encampment to Poodoo. And it took you about a day and some change to get from the Hobgoblin encampment to the shrine outside of Grell. From the shrine outside of Grell, I will tell you that. So we're looking at 3 days just to get back to the shrine outside of Grell. Okay, that's assuming you don't stop and do anything in the Hobgoblin encampment. Give me one moment. Okay, so if you guys are moving at a normal speed, which this time of year you would be probably moving at really no, I mean, it would be no problem. We're looking at maybe a 4-hour walk from Grell to Helmcar.
Oh, it actually, okay.
I mean, it's really fucking close.
Okay,
Grell is actually like the closest thing to Helmcar in comparison to anything else.
Okay, so, I mean, if you really, really want to go to Helmcar, but
You don't have to go in.
it's like
You can just stay outside with.
There's not a chance. But that's still at least we would be losing probably a solid 4 days doing that. To go, probably give it 3 days or so to even get to Grell, another 8 to 10 hours to get to Helmcar and back, and then another 3 days back.
Are you able to eat smaller diamonds and poop out bigger ones? Because if not, I don't see what other choice we have.
Yeah, we just talked to someone in Underhill, like the artificer, who more than likely has big diamonds.
What if he doesn't?
It's on a message, right? Like you just did.
Yeah.
Fair point.
I don't know how many times you can do it. Yeah, the guy who made my hammer.
Oh, the one that gave me the tattoo.
With the runesmith. Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who's like super coked up all the time.
My man liked his drugs.
Unless Doc, do you really want to go to Helmcar?
I just want Chuck back.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't really want to go to Helmcar either if I don't do. I mean, but if this brings my brother back.
I think our track record says that we would be better off not going to a new city for the first time, especially one filled with people that already possibly dislike us for not killing their ex-girlfriend. No,
Please, Buff would probably end up dead. On his own. After
no.
all, he did almost kill himself before.
This is
Twice.
true. He did
hug a snake. And that was full of
Yeah, there was that too, yeah. I was talking about his, girlfriend? I don't know, whatever. The woman that attacked him because he left her behind or something like that. I wasn't paying attention.
I don't think he'd shun us because we didn't kill his girlfriend. I mean, come on.
Well, the Anvil Rocks, while still in some not in great shape, still have significance. And do we want to waste this time finding out whether it'll be a problem, or do we just want to find a different path and avoid going to the Dwarven city? altogether.
Either way, we're gonna be going to a dwarven city. And either way, you're gonna have to go into one.
Yes, it's a dwarven city or a dwarven like town, and there's vastly different things there.
I think there's probably more of a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's probably more chance that there's like a 500 gold diamond in a big city than there's a little.
Why don't you just one of you do your magic and find out if it's even in Underhill and there's an option that way, or we could ask. You said your other brother had 4 of the gods tiers right here.
But we need one big one.
Yeah,
It
but
has to be
did you
one.
ask them if they have a bigger one?
I guess we could try that.
Before we start like turning to the dwarves for help, why don't we just ask your family?
I feel like either way, we're gonna be turning to the dwarves for help.
Oh yeah, we definitely are.
Aurora is trying so hard right now. You two are not working with her. Damn it.
Oh, I'm
love it
fully
so
aware.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, we could talk. Maybe we can talk to the circle of the moon druids, but weren't we banished from there too? No, we weren't. We're still good with them.
No.
But
We
I
didn't
don't want
piss them off yet.
Yeah, I don't want Chuck turning into, I don't know, something else.
so we're not
Cool.
going
He
to
was
use
pretty
the,
cool as a goblin.
So we're not going to go to the druids, but we can still reach out and ask any of the ones in Underhill if they might be able to pull the resources. We can buy such a diamond if someone possesses one. We have enough gold for that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we just like give them our 4 little diamonds and say, give me a big one.
Well, we should keep the little diamonds and just give them gold, because the little
Ooh.
diamonds can help if we just die again.
Who are we talking about now? Because you guys have talked about all sorts of places.
I feel like Helmcar would still be the best because
I
I don't
was
believe there was a
talking about
jeweler.
Underhill.
I'm pretty sure there's no jeweler in Underhill, and if we were to do the diamond mashing, I feel like Helmcar would also.
I mean,
Yeah, my vote is for Helmcar.
I could send a message to Ronald Runheim and see if he has diamonds that we could trade or purchase.
That's a coked up dude.
Yes.
I hope he'll be sane enough to answer.
Well,
could
I'm
also
pretty
ask
sure he was
the
only going
priestess.
insane because of us. Ask what?
Did you ask the priestess if she had the supplies, or did you tell her we already had them?
Well, I told her we had them because I thought we did, but she also specifically stated that we need to provide them.
So ask the priestess before we go to Helmcar, please.
Or we can save some time and start walking while Doc casts. After all, we're gonna have to cross through the hobgoblins either way.
That's fair. Yeah, we do need to move anyway.
Okay, let's
We
start
are-
moving. But if I trip, it's your fault.
We are going to have to
Perfectly
go
fine
back
with me.
towards the place to go to grow anyway. That's going to take 3 days, give or take. We have some time. We can ask a lot of people in 3 days before we go to Helmcar.
I mean, also while we're in the other camp, like it couldn't hurt to ask if they have any kind of booyah that can bring it back to life. I don't think they would, but yeah, couldn't hurt.
And you should still go and ask your other brother if they have a bigger diamond first before we start walking. It can't
you
hurt.
were saying meet my fam. Yeah, I can try.
I mean,
I
it doesn't hurt, and it
So we all
keeps us
know
from wasting time.
when Chuck comes back to life, he's gonna be like I was for a handful of days. So
I'll carry him. I got him.
we're keeping that in mind. Right now, there's ships falling out of the sky and weird creatures and whatever, but right now the focus is Chuck for me.
I can still sense the death dragon, by the way. The mountains say that it's still nearby.
Okay, so there are ships falling out of the sky and creepy creatures and death dragons, but right now my main focus is getting Chuck back to life. Anything else, Aurora, that you'd like to add to the list?
Oh.
I am grateful for you.
Let's not forget about the frostbite and starvation in the mountains.
all these things we have to look forward to. I'm gonna cast this spell while we're walking.
And Reed's gonna talk to Goblin Brother first, too.
Yeah, I'll see if Chuck has a bigger one, or if he knows if there's a bigger diamond.
You do that, I'll send him.
I can't imagine he does, but I'll do it.
Well, great. Okay, so here's the thing.
You're sending this spell.
If I do, then I can only bring back one of us if we die. Just so we're all aware.
Just so everybody else is aware, it is noon today, so you only got about 12 hours before your rest anyways, so just so we're clear.
I feel like you might as well cast it.
I just don't want you guys to hold up resources for the sake of needing to sleep anyways. Now, don't get me wrong, you could step out of town, I could ambush you and fucking murder you all. But...
It's all part of his plan.
Feels like that's exactly what you got planned, yeah.
Can you
That's exactly what somebody who's gonna ambush us would say.
Can you do the gentle repose thing again, if needed?
Yes, that's a different circle of magic.
So even if someone dies, you can bring them back after you've slept if 2 or more of us were to die horrifically?
Will you stop thinking logically because it's horrifying? Yes, we could do that. If I don't use that let's just not get in trouble.
No promises, but I'll try.
Suddenly Aurora's feeling like she needs the fantasy version of a Snickers to offer to Doc right now.
Yeah, it's the macaroon. Actually, they have the Snickers macaroon, so, you know, win-win.
Fuck yeah. It's not even actual chocolate, it's just a fancy rock called Snickers.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me send this message. Well, why don't you ask Chuck first, and then I'll send the message if Chuck doesn't have it. We'll go that route.
Okay, that works.
And if we have to, if he has it but needs more, for some reason, we've got others that we can, you know, I want to make sure we're not completely taking resources. Okay, go.
Okay, wait. Rhea will go find Chuck.
Okay. You find Chuck. Chuck is tending to not one but 2 mistresses that he has taken upon himself to impregnate for the better of the goblin tribe. Yeah, he's outside and he's kind of like sweating, you know, he's like got one that's inside screaming because she's pushing, she's in labor already, and he like comes outside, he's like, "Hey, Rhea." He looks down at you like your abdomen, he's like, "Whew, boy, you got lucky."
Yeah, I dodged a bullet on that one.
Woo!
Quick question. I know. Thanks. I know you gave me the diamonds and all that, and I appreciate it. Do you have a bigger one?
The fuck? That's awfully rude.
Well, sorry. No, I didn't mean to be. Nah. You know, I'm trying to bring Chuck back to life, and I need a bigger diamond.
Oh shit! Wow, he's way deader than I thought.
He's pretty fucking dead. I mean, he's got no bones, so.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's right. He hasn't seen him.
Meat. It's gonna take a lot to bring back to life.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was pretty horrifying.
Oh god! I didn't realize it was that bad.
Pretty fucking bad.
No, I don't. I gave you everything I had. I can go get. You want me to scrape some moss off the wall?
I mean, you probably should, but no, I don't need.
Okay. Okay. No. Yeah. No. I got nothing, sis.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I didn't think that'd be the case. I just thought I'd ask. So hey, congratulations on the quadruplets there.
Oh, fuck! There's gonna be 4 of them.
Maybe, I don't know.
Ah! Oh god!
She was pretty big.
Then you hear from the inside. Ah! He's. Rhea, I gotta get back. Things are happening.
Wait, I should probably. Can I help you?
Yes, please. Yeah, please help me. God help me. He kicks the door open, and as the door gets kicked open, there is this absolutely massively pregnant goblin woman just spread eagle on the floor with a blanket over her lower half, and she looks up and she goes, "What did you do to me, you fuck?" There's a splash, and you hear, and he goes, "Ah! Fuck! Wait! Help! Do something!"
I'll catch. I'll be the catcher.
It's on the floor!
I got it.
And we will.
I'll bite off the umbilical cord. I got this.
Oh, thank you, Rhea. Thank you. You're such a good auntie. And we will move past that little moment there, but
Nasty.
I wouldn't call this a concern per se. I have a question for clarification. I'm not going down that road. I know everything I need to know about that.
Several concerns. in
Yeah,
fact,
yeah.
Right now.
No, so Ray's dead. I feel like at one point
it's like moving past that.
I done did it 3 times.
I was gonna say I've watched 3 children be born. I know how this
The
goes.
last one was born in our living room. We're fine.
That's true.
So with Ray's dead, I feel like we had the conversation already, but I'm just making super sure. It says it doesn't restore missing body parts.
So it does not restore missing limbs. It does not state that it does not regenerate missing internal organs, injuries, bones.
So you're saying that by
So you have essentially the skin
Right.
and like fat and some muscle tissue, and there are some bones, but not many. But it will regenerate those things.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure before I get us
Now-
all hyped up for Ray's
Oh
dead.
God, bring him back to life and no bones.
Oh, he's just jelly. Why would you do this to me?
Oh man.
Listen, I fucked up a wish spell once, and I'm super careful now. So
Once?
we didn't fuck that spell up. We just didn't know the outcome. We didn't know what we were undoing.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Okay, so yeah,
Spent
no.
like 4 hours.
That is true. You guys spent half of an entire Saturday session figuring out how you were going to word your wish spell, and then you
then we
then
fucked
you
everything
wished it. No, it's not that you fucked everything up. You just made a stupid fucking wish.
It was a great wish, just a bad outcome.
We brought the end of the campaign much, much, much earlier, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a, all right, well, that's the end of the campaign, like it almost was.
Oh, it was pretty fucking close. Okay. Yeah. No. On that note, you know that because there is still the like the physical form of the body, the quote unquote minor things will be restored. However, if you would have found the husk and it was missing both of its legs, those legs would not be brought back. However, they could be regenerated after the resurrection.
Okay, I just
or
wanted to make
raised
sure
dead.
that I'm not putting us on the path of
Nope.
Ray's dead.
Nope. You're good. All right. Anyways, so 20, 30 minutes or so go by, and Ree shows back up to you guys' little inner circle meeting, kind of like covered in some weird, slimy, goopy shit.
Yeah, I didn't find a big old diamond, but I found like 6 babies in my brother's mistresses.
How long have we been here?
How long have we been here?
How long have we been here?
About
Like a week.
Yeah, it take, you know. Goblins are fast in that way.
Doc, make a medicine check.
Well, you know what Reese says, fast as fuck.
That's the fuck boy.
That's a 20, a dirty.
Yeah, so you are aware as far as like the way that kind of like how I explained it earlier. It's like a legit thing. The creatures, the sentient races, okay, that or the sentient species that have very short lifespans. Unfortunately, a lot of them do tend to come with very low intelligence. But they also have extremely fast metabolisms, and what that means for most of them, which is what is scary to the older and longer living but slowly maturing species, is that goblins and these other really short-lived, naturally short-lived species, they produce and reproduce and grow into their adulthood very quickly. Those babies that were just born 20 minutes ago will more than likely hit adulthood in the next 6 to 8 months. And then will also more than likely be dead in the next 3 to 5 years. Most of them. Maybe a couple of them will live.
Bleeding.
Yeah, and there are a lot of older goblins within this village. Like, being here and seeing this, or this tribe, seeing the ones that are walking around, there are a lot of gray-haired, probably 20, 30, 40s goblins, but they're always the smart ones, the ones who have learned from watching the other hundreds fall beneath them that have slowly risen to the top.
Okay.
And Ree's a fucking survivor. She wasn't going down for nothing.
I'm just still not used to how efficient goblins are at existing quickly.
Yeah, we don't fuck around.
You don't.
Clearly you do, actually. Quite a lot.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh.
We do.
Yeah, that's necessary
But-
so they're not completely wiped out. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, alright. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm an auntie.
And being an auntie. Hopefully you... So, no diamond.
No diamond, just babies.
Just babies. Yep, they don't
Lots of babies.
accept babies as ritual sacrifices for this. So.
Well, you haven't been everywhere.
I
So-
think in some places they're
Right.
Oh, sorry.
You didn't try and trade the god's tears for a baby or two, did you?
No, should I have?
No,
No.
No?
no.
Okay.
Great.
Sorry.
Okay, so let me send a message over to Ronald Runeheim and see where we're at.
Okay.
Okay, so let me think this through.
Still working on the being good thing.
Gonna step over towards Gray and speak fairly softly. Yeah, it's a god's tear versus a goblin baby. I know what those things are worth.
Okay, so I'm gonna send, hi, it's Doc. You gave me a tattoo. Do you have any diamonds worth 500 gold that we could buy or trade for?
Gray would kind of lean over to Aurora and go,
Yeah, they're worth like a bottle of alcohol where I'm from.
You're gonna trade a bottle of alcohol for a goblin baby?
you cut out. Can you say that again?
Oh, she whispered, you're gonna trade a bottle of alcohol for a goblin baby?
It was for any baby they could get their hands on.
Doc, can
Or
you please
anybody
roll?
that could get their hands on.
Doc, can you please roll percentile dice?
Oh no.
Don't roll an 8.
I know. Oh, it's a 3. I don't know if that's worse or better.
So, Doc, there is this the audible static, and then you hear, and you feel the spell cease.
He didn't want to talk to me.
You didn't want to talk to you?
He didn't want to talk to me.
Like you shut it down?
I get either he did or they don't want me talking to people in Underhill. I don't know.
Make an Arcana check.
Wait, they stopped you from.
Oh, it was almost an 18.
Yeah, you have no fucking clue.
I mean, they didn't care if you talked to the priestess.
No, but I'm a member of the temple.
So I guess Helmcar it is.
Yeah, I think our best bet is go to Helmcar.
I tried, Aurora.
Sorry.
Gray's gonna absolutely smile looking at Aurora.
It's gonna be fine. There's more than just dwarves there. There's all sorts of people, different kinds, and
No, you know what?
She's gonna
I've
just
been
start
thinking
walking.
about this, and I think we have quite a lot of business in Helmcar. This could be a very profitable excursion.
And now I'm worried.
Are you gonna kill Beaufort?
Can I join?
There's no assassinating anymore. We
Yeah,
all talked
that
about this.
doesn't work
I
in cities
am
anymore.
not an assassin.
No, you're
I
not.
never said you're gonna do it subtly.
I, for one, am happy to see Beaufort again. I kind of liked Beaufort.
I did too. But for real, Aurora, are you gonna try to kill Beaufort?
We have a 3-day walk. We should probably get going.
She's gonna try to kill Beaufort. You're staying outside. Doc's gonna start walking.
Okay.
Aurora is just gonna kind of watch
Doc.
and just, yeah.
Weren't you the one that said faith is expressed in many ways? Bringing back like the earlier conversation of murdering a few people.
I mean, I don't think I said killing Beaufort would make you more faithful at any point.
Oh, absolutely not. I don't think there's anything that'll make me more faithful.
Oh, you're wrong.
Besides, I wouldn't actually kill him anyway.
No, he can be of more use to us than that. Besides, so when we were in, and this is as I'm assuming as we're walking, so when we were in Underhill, I did some digging into some of the dwarven names, families, lineages, did some research into the Anvil Rock. So, yeah, I think this will be an interesting little side venture here on the way to bring back your brother and save the world.
Well, what'd you find out?
She's just gonna leave it at that.
Beaufort's mom liked me. She gave me a diamond.
Well, can you get another from her?
It wasn't big enough.
Make her like you more.
Oh,
I
I
really
could.
wanted to make it. That's what she said. Joke comes from.
I could make her like me more.
It's hard not to like you, Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's pack our shit and go to the camp, and then maybe see if they got anything, and then go
Yeah.
to Helmcar. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna ask and grow before we go to home car too.
Oh yeah, we can ask her to any town we come across, but yeah, we're
Every
pretty sure it's gonna
town.
be in Helmcar.
All right, so you guys, you pack your belongings, what little belongings you have, and you make for the mountains. Whoever is leading this excursion, which I assume is probably Ree,
Yeah.
go ahead and give me a survival check, Ree, because this is home territory. Give me a check with advantage.
Okay. Yeah. And before we leave, I'll just make sure I say goodbye to Chuck and all that, and my new baby nieces and nephews and all that.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a whole
Yeah.
brood outside, and Chuck is just like, "Hey, if you succeed and get Chuck back, can you please, like, I could really use some help."
Yeah, I got you, big bro, little bro, big fat bro. Love you.
Okay, bye, love you.
Okay, bye. Okay, so survival was. Let's do that again, but harder. Nope. 17 is what you get.
All right. Okay, so you guys travel through the mountains for about a day and a half. As that transpires, you actually find the same outcropping that you did before, which is still uninhabited, and you rest there for the evening. Nothing particularly interesting happens throughout said evening. Go ahead and remove 1 day of rations for each of you, please. Whoever is doing that, I don't know if however you guys want to do that, that's fine.
I believe that Ree was holding my purse.
Okay.
Is that all macaroons, son, or do we actually have rations?
We have rations, but I'd share macaroons if people actually want it.
Yeah, I only have like 2 days of rations.
Why don't we have some macaroons?
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and remove 4 macaroons, and beautiful. And yeah, you guys you hang out for the evening. Morning starts to dawn, and Ree, you climb back out onto the cliff ledge overlooking the Gorelian Valley, with the river running through the center of it, kind of curving down to the southwest. And far in the distance, you can see the all too familiar forest that surrounds that which is Pudu. However, this time, while you look down, there is no heavy darkness that befalls the landscape, and you do see the familiar rise of normal goblin smoke that almost happily drifts up into the air, and as the sun creeps over the mountains, or excuse me, over the horizon to the east, you see little specks of rainbow start to kind of blast through. Something you've not seen from this vantage point, but compared to the way you saw it before you went down there, game changer.
Ah, that's nice. I'm making so many babies down there.
Oh, babies for days.
Oh,
For
yeah.
days.
Babies.
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 And probably 50% of them have rabies. Okay, so so you guys
Baby.
yeah, rabies babies. So you guys pack up and you make for the hobgoblin encampment. You arrive at the outskirts of said encampment on Saturday, the 2nd of Juri, at about noon. And you and you are welcomed immediately into said encampment. And you see the hobgoblins milling about. There's the bugbears and a couple of ogres here and there. Not a whole lot else in the ways of change compared to the last time you were here. Is there anything that you would like to do here?
Yeah, just maybe ask if anybody knows of anybody here who can offer up a 500 gold diamond, or if they can do any kind of, raise dead spells or anything like that.
Okay, make an investigation check for me.
I guess, are we allowed to assist?
You can assist. Yeah, you can grant re-advantage by assisting.
I will do so.
Okay.
13 is still not bad. Well, definitely.
Yeah, we'll take the first one.
Yep. So the overall opinion of those that you ask over the course and talk to over the course of a couple of hours is that nobody can, like, raise the dead as they were. But the point that everybody always circles back to is that Ulag, the shaman, the clan shaman, is capable of spinning a cocoon over the corpses of the fallen and bringing them back, but the bodies are always different from what they were, though it always seems like their mental state remains the same.
Yeah, last case scenario for that one. But no 500 gold diamonds.
No, nobody has any diamonds of any sort.
Do you know how to spell that name?
Of course I do. I'm the fucking dungeon master. It
I
is.
wrote it down.
Yeah, I just spit it out. It's UUL apostrophe capital L AAG. Ulag.
Never would have guessed.
I had ULAG as my first one.
I mean, hey, fuck, if that's how you read it, that's how you read it, right?
Yeah, that's how I had it. Actually, I think I had O-U-L-A-G.
I would have just guessed OOLOG.
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 Okay. So we'll keep going then. We'll keep moving through to Grell. See if we can't find anything in Grell.
All right, so.
We're a day and a half out at this point. How far would you say we traveled? Like, ish.
The entirety of your guys' trip from where you were to here was a day and a half.
Yeah, well, I was going to do the dragon search again.
There is absolutely the same exact draconic presence you had felt before in the same strength as you do it. Yep.
My goal is to figure out if it's more based towards the town or if it's moving with us, so I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to do this again when we get to Grell and then probably when we get to Helmcar, because I might as fucking well.
Sure. So the fact that you've traveled a day and a half tells you, just so we're clear, that this is definitely, I mean, you traveled more than a mile in a day and a half, so it's very clearly moving somewhere within a mile radius of you and following you. Because we're looking at, each day you're moving about 24 miles, so you've moved about 36 miles, and both times you've done it, you've sensed it. So it's definitely not just in the town.
Okay. She will relay that whenever we're making camp at one of the times.
Yeah.
Just the kind of offhand, well, the mountains say the dragons are following us.
Sorry, just to clarify, just so you were aware, you do not sense multiple draconic presences the second time you do it. It is simply this dragon which, for you, radiates with death energy.
No, so, well, the mountain says the dragons are following us, or at least the death one is. The icy bastard seems to have stayed over there.
That's not surprising. It's familiar territory. It's territory.
Yeah, well, the death dragon says that we're its territory, apparently.
Well, to be fair, we have like ruined, or well, annihilated 3 of Ashrael at once. Well, not Ashrael though. No, sorry.
Nothraxian.
Nilthraxian.
You think it's actually Nothraxian following us?
I
don't think
just
so,
about
but it might
panicked,
be.
Lucy.
Yeah, sorry. That was a mispronunciation.
I mean, I feel like there are bigger things in the world that Nilthraxian would be focused. Well, maybe not.
Right,
Maybe
and
we
I-
got its attention when we started killing these things.
I didn't even think he
keep in
was
mind, this is the-
here anyway.
We've
I thought he was
collected-
somewhere else.
Yeah, but that's exactly.
Well,
I don't know what exactly it is or exactly how far it is. I could say it's within a mile or so, but we probably shouldn't waste too much time, and we should be extra careful on watches.
Speaking of which, I'll take first watch tonight.
What does a death dragon look like?
I don't know if anybody knows.
Skeleton.
Aurora. Oh, God. Anybody who's interested in thinking back on the past, you're more than welcome to make a history check at this point.
Well,
Or a nature check. I'll allow either of those.
I am also going to try and, as humbly as possible, ask if my new mentor knows anything.
He has the best rolls in
Ree is so caught off guard at the mention of everybody pondering dragons by how fucking adorable her nieces and nephews were that she just mind blanks and goes into gaga mode. With a roll of 0. I've seen negative rolls happen before, so that's awesome.
That's reasonable.
That's reasonable.
Did you see their cute little toes?
I didn't, but it sounds
The
adorable.
dragon toes?
What? Oh, we're talking about dragons. Sorry.
Kevin, you can have an inspiration point for that. That's beautiful roleplay. Okay, so, I'm sorry, Kat, you said you were doing what in conjunction with this?
She was going to try and very humbly, ask her new mentor if he knows anything about this creature that might be following us.
Okay, I mean, you rolled pretty
or about
fucking
death
good.
dragons in general.
Okay, so... Make a persuasion check, Aurora.
Okay.
That's actually not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad.
You know what? She's slowly starting to figure out how to talk to this thing, but humble is not exactly her go-to MO.
Okay, so history checks, we've got a 12, 10, a 0, God help us. So Gray and Ree, you have absolutely no idea as far as death dragons are concerned or anything like that. Doc and Aurora, you are both aware that there is no such thing as a death dragon. It is not a color that is associated with dragons. There are dragons that can deal necrotic. They can like melt the flesh from bones, kind of like necromancy spells will do. But they're extremely rare, and they are typically corrupted forms of other dragons. And that, Doc, is where your knowledge stops. So, Aurora, with your history check, as you think back and as you elicit a response from the voice within you, you feel a presence kind of enter your mind, and although it doesn't say anything, it fills you with evocative emotions. And they make you feel two things. One, that you are very sad, lonely, angry, hungry, wretched, and lost all in one. And in that very moment, you hyperfixate on Gray. And you see the worst of the worst about the very being that is his existence. You see a pit of black in the center of his chest momentarily as you blink it away, and you remember the teachings, the old historical teachings of those dragons, especially metallic dragons, that fell from grace in their noble metallic, godlike statuses. The golds, the silvers, the coppers, the bronzes that fell away from their kind to become nothing but embodied shadow. And those are the death dragons that you can recall from your presence. Or from your history, excuse me.
Okay, first of all, the out of character. Holy fuck. I love how you tell Al. Yes. Second, in character. Aurora's going to, like, if she gets hit with kind of the wave of, like, emotions, she's going to, stumble for a moment, nearly drop her bow, and, like, obviously grab it at the last second and just look at Gray, like, she's not looking at the trail, not looking at anything else, stumbles, nearly drops her bow, and then just kind of stares at him in, like, how she had been considering him, just very obviously just kind of shifts a little bit. And it's not pity. Aurora doesn't pity, but it's definitely, it's almost sorrow as she looks at him.
And as you blink a few times, Aurora, through this haze that has been a constant mental clusterfuck, you do see... You see Gray again. Yeah, the darkness vanishes, and as you blink a couple of times heavy, you see again the very softly, like candlelight soft, glowing golden eyes, and the small ring around the crown of his head. In a physical form, a physical manifestation, and you are assured, at least in the present, that there is good there, but something ain't right.
If you keep staring, you're gonna make Doc jealous.
And that's when, Doc, you glance over and you realize that Aurora is hyper-fixated, like, mid-mast of Gray's chest, and then kind of blinks a couple of times and looks around like almost coming out of a daze.
Doc would actually kind of put herself between Gray and Aurora, but not out of jealousy, more like she's trying to protect Gray. So she, like, stands in between and she's like...
Oh god, she's gonna shoot him again!
You look like you're gonna set him on fire.
What? No, have you heard the story of the death dragons?
Death dragons aren't a thing. Not really.
Well,
Oh shit, they are a thing?
Not
they're
really.
They're not, but
Following us.
they're kind of like Gray is. They're
You mean devilishly handsome, suave, debonair?
Taller than
yes.
most everyone else around them.
Yeah, that too.
Mesmerizing even to themselves.
All actually true.
All of these
Right.
are.
Wow.
They were. Think about the metallic dragons, the chromatic ones, the ones that flew with such grace and just wonder, and then they sort of fell too. And that's... I didn't realize. I didn't realize what was lost. And hungry and wretched and... Yeah. Sorry, we should keep going.
So what, is Gray a dragon? Is that what we're talking about? Is that what we're saying here?
Mad,
No,
right?
I think what she's saying is that the thing that's following us is a fallen dragon. Gray is a fallen.
Didn't the captain of the first ship we found say that Ashereladon got stuck in... Oh no, not the captain, it was,
Nothraxian
Osmar.
crystal.
Nilthraxian.
Sorry, my mind is stuck on Ashereladon.
Nilthraxian.
Yeah, sorry, Nilthraxian got stuck in the Shadow World. What's it called again?
The Shadowfell?
Shadowfell?
Yeah, he was trying to get out, and he was chasing after the ship, but couldn't get through, right?
No, I feel like at first he was the good, and then he got stuck there, I believe was the story.
So he got
And
jaded.
then, yes, and then he started corrupting any other mortals that got in with experiments and such.
Yeah, so as Gray says this, you guys do recall the captain that you guys spoke with at the crash site in the Circle of the Moon, saying that Nilthraxian was originally an elder gold dragon that went to the Shadowfell to wage war and wound up becoming lost and corrupted.
That makes me feel really sad. Great. And if you don't want to answer, it's fine. But when you fell, what happened? I know what happened to fall, but what happened when you fell? I mean, I know you weren't like this before.
I'm sorry, can you explain the question a bit more?
Like all of a sudden you were, dark and edgy, or, did it take time? How did it happen?
Like, did you wake up one morning with black eyes and...
Right.
No, the transformation doesn't take long, but it's a change of views, let's put it that way.
So...
The second I stopped... And behavior as well. The second I stopped being hopeful, good, and turned my own, I guess, magic against my family, or previous family, that's when I fell.
And it was a...
Aurora's gonna blink a couple times because this is the first time she's heard this.
It's the first time any of you have heard this.
Except Pac.
And Gray doesn't say that as easily as I do. He absolutely stutters a bit.
Wait, what do you mean you turned your magic on your family? Like your mom? Like you blasted your mom or something?
I didn't have a mom.
Sounds terrible.
No, if I did. Probably did. Otherwise I wouldn't be here.
Everybody had a mom at some point.
Yeah. I never met them. But I was taken in by a camp of a troupe of bards, if you will. Performers and such. We were attacked by orcs one night, and I fucking helped the orcs kill them.
Doc puts a hand on Gray's arm and gives a little squeeze, and watches the other two for reaction.
Wait, so the orcs came in, started murdering everybody, and said, "Yeah, this looks like fun," and started murdering everybody also?
Yeah, basically.
I mean, it can't be that simple.
Aurora, you feel a presence enter your mind.
I told you there was more to him than met the eye. Girl, stay alert and stay ever watchful.
On a side note, you want me to make like a deception check to see if I can hide what actually happened?
Yeah, that's probably a... But, you know what? Hang on. So go ahead and make your deception check. Let me take a look at passive insights, though, because I don't think that it's going to warrant an actual active roll. But go ahead and make a deception check.
Also, Aurora's just going to nod both to Gray and to the voice, although she is going to say also, thank you.
Okay, Aurora and...
mentally.
Aurora and Doc make insight checks for me, please. These are passive insight checks based on the active roll. Thank you.
Before I know
Yeah.
the result, am I able to use my inspiration again?
No, because the rolls were already made.
Fair.
Yeah, you should have said that when you had the 11. But that's okay. That's okay. No, that's okay. We'll use it in the future. Okay, so Aurora, you are fucking lost in the sauce, especially since you got somebody talking into you in your head. Doc, you are the only one who has at least heard some of this story before that realized that what he just said, something's wrong. He is not. You know his tells now, especially as a woman of God, and he's not telling the truth. Not the full truth.
She would give another reassuring squeeze on his arm, and put her hand down and say, "We all have our histories. The only person here that's probably pure is Ree. So, let's
Make a deception check? No, I'm just kidding.
What? Why?
Closest to pure. Well,
Oh,
I
yeah.
used to kill people for a living.
So did I, kind of.
Well, not for a living.
Yeah. Oh.
And honestly, I
Let's be
I did
real.
it.
Yosa's the only pure one here.
Who is?
Josa.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's definitely. I'll definitely agree with that one.
Well, I mean,
Speaking of
used to
which,
kill people.
last night while you guys were resting, the electrical vibrancy of Josa's token sprung back to existence. It literally happened on Saturday the 2nd. So it was like.
Oh yeah, she's back. She's back to back in action again. Nice. Fuck yeah.
Excellent. Okay, I'd like to take first watch. Everybody should get some rest. We'll be ever vigilant.
Why don't we do 2 and 2 for now? We know there's things that can send people off of cliffs into fires or swept off into the mountains in the clutches of some dragon's claws, so we should probably not watch alone.
It's fine. Which one?
Yeah,
Who wants to take first with me?
I think Aurora has volunteered herself.
Of course, we should let the lovebirds watch together.
You two, yeah, that's kind of the point.
Oh.
So cute every time, Gray. Good night.
Alright.
All right. So. Those of you on first watch, give me perception checks, please. And actually, those of you on second watch, just everybody give me a perception check. It'll just be easier that way. Oh God, Jesus
Oh,
Christ!
I was
Aurora.
ready.
I almost had nat 20 too.
So it's Doc and Aurora on first, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, who's on second?
Me and Ree.
What?
I want to make the obvious.
I don't know.
Ah, Candace, did you pick that up?
I did, so I said, I don't know.
I'm so old.
That's immediately where my brain went. So.
Mine too.
Thank God. Okay,
Evans would have too if he had heard it.
it's an American thing. It's not even an old thing. It's not an old people American thing. It's just an old person thing. Or excuse me, an American
Just
thing.
an American thing.
Okay, so anyways, so Aurora and Doc, you guys get back to where you had essentially been originally in this valley, and you find the encampment where you had slept early on. Okay, you are both up. Ree and Gray are fast asleep and getting their nighty nights and their Betty buys, and both of you are staying as alert as you possibly can. About 3 hours into your shift, Aurora, you hear something overhead. As you look up into the sky, you realize that there is a circular vortex forming over the valley that you were ambushed in before. The air grows absolutely frigid in nature, and small hailstones begin to pelt you and Doc. As you begin to innately jump to action, you hear... Give me a second, I need to actually pull up this character sheet so I know what I'm doing.
And this is both of us here or an I here?
But nope, both of you hear it.
Okay. I'm so used to voices in my head at this point, I gotta ask.
It is a voice in your head.
Make room.
One of these days I'll have a sane character, maybe.
So both of you hear it in your mind, and you are confident in that, as there is no echo physically throughout the ravine. It is all mental. You hear,
Don't even think about drawing your weapons. I will land in 5 seconds. We must speak. Granddaughter of Ashwaradon.
Is he talking to you or me? Because I don't know who my grandparents are.
Shit, you heard that?
Yep. You've been hearing things?
slamming down into the snow in front of you is the very familiar form of Ishmir. Still wounded horrifically from the last battle that you had encountered her in, but mended in some respect. She begins to step forward lazily.
Would this have
Okay,
woken us up?
Aurora's gonna go forward to try and, like, get between her and the others, too.
So, okay, hold on one second. Gray, make a perception check. No, this is only for people sleeping.
No, I meant I would move up as well.
Oh, I got you. Okay, yep. So, with that being said, though, no, your passive perception is way too low for that.
Keep on snoring.
And an 11, not quite. Close, but not quite. If we would have had a 13 or higher, we'd have been good, but that's okay. So, Ishmir lands. She lays down on the ground, belly heaving heavy to one side, as both of you look her over and realize that she still has the wounds from when Ree had absolutely fucked her up. She was barely just now flying above you, and both, based on the rolls you made earlier about dragons, you both understand that the older a dragon gets, the more innate ability it has to sometimes unconsciously control the elements around it. So when it appeared, also came hailstones and freezing cold. It was not an intentional thing by her. It approaches, though, and again, you hear telepathically, mentally.
Granddaughter of Ashur-Aladan, you and your companions defeated me fair and square in combat. Something no dwarf, no man, no goblin, hobgoblin, giant, bugbear, or even yeti has managed in my 174 years of existence. So I succeed to you, and you alone. Take what is yours, and I offer you a single boon of your choice, should you be in these mountains and in need of something. Give me a moment.
And she twists her head around and reaches under one of her wings, and as she does so, The wing comes up, but you can see where Ree had fucking hit her with that hammer, broke the wing, the portion of the wing that comes out kind of like a femur bone before it turns into like a skin flap, is shattered in at least 3 pieces still, and she was literally flying like a disabled dragonfly to get down to you guys. So as she pulls underneath the wing, a small satchel comes out, and she spits it down towards you.
Take what is rightfully yours. And do me just one favor. Don't tell the goblin about this. I know she'll alert her tribe. And I need them to feed when I recover my strength. What say you?
I have a suggestion.
How are you communicating with this creature?
I would try to think first if I felt like it would work.
So you feel your brain waves, for lack of a better term, kind of filter out into the grander psyche of the surrounding area. Aurora, you do not hear this, but the dragon turns its head towards you, Doc.
Instead of, and I know it's been working for a long time, but instead of feeding on them, what if we could convince them to make sure you had food, like goats or something, regularly, so that y'all could live in harmony?
There is no way they could satiate my hunger on crops alone. They consume too much themselves. That is why I consume not only the goblins, but the hobgoblins and the giants and the wildlife that exists within the Grellian mountain range.
That's fair. That's a good balance of things. Are you really hungry right now?
She blinks a couple of times and then looks away from you, Doc, and back at Aurora, and both of you here mentally.
I'm done conversing with the gnome, granddaughter of Ashuraladon. You have earned my respect and none other. What say you?
So she's not going to stop making eye contact with Ishnir. But she is going to bend down and take the pouch. And then she's going to just she's not looking at Doc because she's not going to look away from this creature. So she's just going to kind of pass it over to Doc. And she's going to take another step forward towards this and say mentally in Draconic.
Oh, shit. Okay. I should have clarified this was all in common before, but now that we've discussed the Draconic thing.
Yeah. So she's going to say mentally in Draconic. So in Draconic, she's going to say, you are a worthy adversary. May I assist so that you may fly in peace? All in Draconic.
Ooh, oh boy, make a persuasion check.
I would like to use my inspiration for that.
Yep. Yes, you can. Yeah, those always carry over, so go ahead and use your inspiration. Jesus.
Oh, you don't have the subclass for sorcerer, do you?
Which, I
What?
I'm at the Draconic bloodline.
Oh, then shouldn't you have advantage? I feel like the Draconic bloodline has.
I don't fucking know. I didn't think about that. I don't know. Let me very briefly check, but I don't remember seeing that. I'm not very high-level sorcerer. I'm mostly a ranger.
Because I remember Meepo had it, but I can't remember if it was kobold or because sorcerer.
No, I double my proficiency bonus for charisma checks involving dragons. Holy shit, that's important when I'm talking to the one in my head.
Or,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
the
you
dragons.
so you don't get advantage on it, but you double your proficiency modifier. However, it is only for red dragons. If you look under dragon ancestry, you will also see so you have a specific dragon type as your ancestor. You can speak, read, and write draconic, and you double your proficiency bonus for charisma checks involving dragons. So this is an opposing element dragon. I'm not going to grant you double your proficiency for it, but you can use your advantage, absolutely.
Okay. That's still really important to realize, so thank you, Lucy, for mentioning that, because I didn't
Absolutely.
see that.
And to be fair, everything up until this point has always involved only white dragons, so it was always with advantage, or always with double proficiency.
I never got to use that.
Yeah. Okay, so
Well,
persuasion with advantage then. Okay.
actually, you're fucking...
I'm garbage at persuasion.
You're garbage at persuasion, but it's still, like, not as bad as I honestly thought it was. Oh, you know why I thought it was way worse? Because you played a fucking half-orc initially.
Yeah,
and it was way worse!
Yeah. Yes, it was. But now it's
Holy
extra
fuck.
shiny, just saying.
Wow. Holy shit. So, the dragon, looks at you very intently as you approach it and make this request, and it kind of breathes, and as it breathes out, there is this frost that drips down its nose onto its mouth and then forms into these long icicles which almost resemble a small goatee. And it sighs.
Very well.
And it leans its head down as it, already on its belly, it splays its legs out in front of it and drops its head completely flat on the ground, exposing the entire crest of its skull to you. Doc, you see this.
She is not going to coup de grace this dragon, even though she is vaguely tempted to. She is, however, going to put 2 third-level heals into this thing.
Holy shit. Okay, give me some heals.
You know, if we're gonna do the dragon sorcerer thing, we're gonna fucking go for it, so. Also, I'm about to sleep, which is also helpful.
Give him the British hello.
Oh no!
Fucking Lucy! Okay, alright.
Hilarious. Also, that was a garbage heal.
Holy shit,
that was
29 though, fuck. So as you lay your hand upon this dragon's head and feel the, I mean, literally, it is like touching an icicle. You invocate and you will this thing to heal, and you see the left wing where it had just pulled the satchel from kind of crack, and then fan out a little bit more as you see the green energy, almost like veins, like spider webs stretching up and through the wing, cinch closed. It flaps its wing once and looks back, pulling its head away from your hand, and then looks back down at you. Both of you here, this is in common now.
Thank you, granddaughter of Ashur-Ramadan, for your service. And thank you for your strength. I take to the sky now, for I am hungry. Should you need to call upon my boon, my name is Ishnir. Send me a message, and I am yours. Goodbye.
And with that, with 2 to 3 massive beats of the large wings, she takes up and off and out of the valley, disappearing into the sky before the vortex that is above you with the small hailstones raining down spins out of existence, and you are left standing here next to Doc, who I'm assuming at this point is in absolute fucking awe.
Aurora's gonna take a deep breath and, like, before slowly turning to face Doc, who she acts, yeah, and just not say anything, just deep breath, slowly turn.
You know how we all have our own past, and some things don't need to be shared because it's your own. It is nothing like that. Start explaining now.
You're going to wake the others? We should look to see what we were just granted before I start trying to explain.
We are not looking at loot before you explain yourself.
No, it's not loot, it's a gift, and we don't want to slight. Kind of looks up.
You just healed it so it could go eat Ree's ancestors. Who's your grandpa?
No, I healed. I held him so that he could fly in peace, which oh, you wouldn't have actually heard that. No, I healed him so he could fly in peace. So, is that really important?
How long have you known that you have a dragon ancestor?
It holds up her hand with the red scale. It sprouted approximately a week plus 2 days ago. Its way of answer. I haven't had scales for long. Also, he's my great-grandfather, I believe. It also just kept us from being potentially frost-breathed again. So this doesn't have to be necessarily a problem. I don't ask you about your parents.
I couldn't answer about my parents. I was abandoned on a front stoop.
And I couldn't tell you about mine. I'm learning things just as you are.
A week and 2 days ago.
Yes, and I told you most of this.
You told me that your great-grandpappy is a dragon? I feel
No,
like
I told you that this was apparently what was meant to be and that I was still discovering it. Why am I just healed a dragon. Why am I getting yelled at here?
I haven't yelled yet.
Gray, make a perception check, please. As things have become awfully heated in the cold of the night.
Finally, my first one above a 10.
Gray, you stir yourself awake suddenly as you hear the tail end of this conversation. Do what you wish at this point. You hear everything moving forward. Neither of you realize that Gray has awoken.
I'm frustrated because I feel like this is kind of a major detail. Like, if I found out who my parents were, I'd be like, hey, I found out who my parents were.
You know what I came from. Why would I want to look back to that?
I'm using your example. You knew at least something. I mean, you said you had to tell me something a few days ago, and we didn't really get to talk about it, and so I can't blame you completely, but this is a big deal. I mean, we've all talked about if you're hearing voices, you need to say something.
And I told you when things settled, and I accepted it.
What have you been, I mean...
So, carrying...
It's fine.
Meepo, no. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. I told you when Meepo fell, which I don't actually think he just fell, by the way, that, Hello. That choices that had to be made and balance need to be found, and now I can protect. I told you all of that. The only thing I didn't tell you was that I have to consider things from where I came, and I'm not quite ready to do that.
Okay.
I'm not keeping things. It just doesn't matter. What matters is that I can do what we set out to do. Now I can do it better.
It matters enough that you just talked a white dragon out of killing all.
You did what?
And
Go back to sleep.
you both hear Gray's voice speak up suddenly from behind you.
Go back to sleep. This is a lover's quarrel.
And that's about the time where Ree starts to stir.
What's happening? What's happening?
Apparently, a
No,
white
no.
dragon shot.
Nope. Nothing, Ree. You're dreaming. Go back to sleep.
Okay.
She's lying.
Why you got? Why you being sketchy? What happened? What happened? What I missed?
No, this is not me
What?
being sketchy this time.
No, I didn't say you. were being sketchy.
While Doc's handling Ree, Aurora's gonna try and like grab the pouch and like hide it quickly so that we don't have to explain that to Ree.
Okay, so make an unarmed strike to grab the bag out of Doc's hands, because she's the one who had it, because you gave it to her.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair. Unarmed strike. This will go so well.
First you lied to me, then you hit me.
She fucking, you guys look up. Why is mommy hitting mommy?
I hate it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna need to call Ishneer back here to just like.
Can you just take me with you?
All right, eat that bitch. I'm done. Okay, so 13. Doc, what is your AC?
16.
It better
Okay.
be fire.
So, Aurora, as both of you are waking up, Gray, you're already looking at the situation. You see Aurora reach and just grab Doc's arm and try to yank this satchel out of her hand. And as she does so, Doc immediately resists, and now there is a struggle happening in front of you. What are you guys doing?
Well, Aurora's not gonna fight on it.
No, actually, if she tries to snatch it, Doc's gonna hand it over. She'll be a little, at first she'll be like, what the fuck? And then she'll just let it go and fine.
All right, so yeah, Aurora like yanks on it a couple times, and then Doc lets it go. But both of you see clear as day, like Aurora grabbed at this thing aggressively, ripped it out of Doc's hands, and then like stuffs it into a bag, into another bag. It's like a bag of bags.
What are you guys doing?
I'm trying to figure it out. It just...
Gray, make an insight check. Sorry, he's got that goddamn alert feat that just makes him so perceptive, motherfucker. Gray, there is something really funky happening here, and you are aware that both of them are acting absolutely out of character.
All right. No, you shut up.
What?
Excuse you?
Listen. No. There was a white dragon here, apparently. You guys caught in,
No.
and now you're fighting with each other. What the fuck is happening?
Wait, Ishneer came back?
No, Ishneer was here before.
She's lying.
You're lying.
It doesn't fucking matter now. Ishneer came back and Ishneer left. We didn't have to fight. That's what we need to know right now until I can figure out more details.
Last time I checked, white dragons don't necessarily do that.
It's true.
Especially
That's why I
Ishneer, he
need
just-
more details.
She just kind of eats things. She doesn't talk about feelings. What?
Gray's gonna definitely look over to her.
Yeah, Aurora, all eyes are on you.
So,
Where's
Miss
the-
Dragon, what's happening?
First of all, you know what? Fine. Doc is absolutely right, as she often is. Ishneer was here. Ishneer left. And now we have this. And she's gonna open up the bag and figure out what the fuck it is.
Okay, as you, so Aurora, as she's like stuffing the satchel into another bag, she pulls it back out, pops the latch on it, which is literally just like a little piece of bone and leather that's like in a hoop. And as she opens it, she dumps out onto the ground 3 potion flasks. 2 of them are emitting a probably 5-foot radius light, which is bright orange, and they are extremely hot to the touch. As soon as they hit the snow, they immediately begin to sizzle into the snow. The third hits the snow, and you can't see a whole lot of like what's going on inside of it, but it's not as reactive to the snow as the other 2. However, inside you can see that there is definitely a yellowish liquid, kind of like the color of honey mustard, but there is also a single human-sized eyeball that is floating inside of it, suspended kind of in its own way. To be clear, it is just the eyeball. It's not some fucking weird thing where it's blinking at you.
Oh, that makes it better.
Yeah,
Does it though?
Does it though?
Doc kind of motions to the glass or the vials in the snow. Well, there you go. I'm going to bed. Gray, if you want to stay awake, stay awake. I don't care.
Fucking yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely staying awake too. Take a look at these
good
files.
timing. It's your turn for watch anyway.
Yeah, thanks. I think.
Yep.
I think maybe.
Gray's gonna just start talking to himself, going, "Wait, so Ishner stopped here. Give her after you beat the fuck out of him."
Listen, if we go into detail, we may lose a huge benefit. So please stop asking questions and just trust me. For once.
I mean, I usually trust you.
You're not asking me questions, Ray. I know you trust me. Just drop it, Gray.
Definitely debating this.
If we have to go into detail, we lose a huge benefit, and I can't tell you more. We may have already lost it. I don't know. I can't tell you more than that.
For what? It dropped the bag here.
An even bigger benefit than what he left?
Yes.
Does it have another bag?
Did you ask for a giant ass diamond?
I couldn't. It didn't want to talk to me. I can't. That's it. I'm not saying anything else.
Could you ask it for a giant ass diamond?
She just rolls over.
Fucking Ray.
Aurora's gonna very awkwardly look at the 2 of them, and then like pick up the flasks and put them back in the bag while still making unblinking awkward eye contact.
Look, that potion have something in common.
Yeah, so the 2 hot ones, when you pick them up, you almost don't want to let them go, Aurora. You can. It's not a compulsive thing, but they are so hot to the touch that you literally feel the warmth roll through your arms up into your chest and just heal your soul.
I'm gonna go and sleep with these under my bedroll. Don't worry about it. You 2 don't piss off a dragon.
Apparently, don't need to.
I'm sure you could find a way to piss one off.
Oh yeah,
You'd
probably.
be pretty good at that.
I mean, to be fair,
the pouch.
To be fair, last time I think we pissed off this dragon. It's just by like existing. So
That's true. That is true.
Exist around dragons, I guess.
I mean, apparently, if we do, they drop bags for us. So whatever.
So whatever.
You know what?
A lot of shit happened, and we're not allowed to ask any questions, and this is a lot.
When we can tell you, we'll tell you.
Okay.
Quiet.
Okay, so what's happening now? So Doc is going to sleep, and Ree and Gray are definitely awake. Aurora, what the fuck are you doing?
Not going to sleep.
Well, my sound's apparently being stupid. So Aurora's just gonna. Is it time? Like, how close were we actually to the end of our watch?
Oh, you were like 2 hours away from the end of your watch, so you still need to. Well, I mean, you could go to sleep now, technically, and just fucking ride it out. It's not really that big of a deal. It would have been a bigger deal if you were needing the extra 2 hours of sleep, but you can always add 2 extra hours of sleep on it if, you know.
Actually, with that note, though, did the other two get enough sleep to be fully rested?
No. You woke their asses up, and now they were freaked the fuck out. You two wigged them the fuck out, and they're up. But you don't really know. Like, they're up and like, yo, no, we ain't going to sleep now.
Yeah,
You don't want to talk? Fuck that.
Doc would sit up and turn and say, at some point, we all need to be able to trust each other. Gray shared quite a bit earlier today. More than I ever anticipated him sharing, to be honest. Which, you know, Gray, I've supported you more than I've ever let on. Ree, we're trying to get through this for your brother. We're gonna do what we can to get him back. If we could share more right now, we would. If we share more right now, we could completely screw ourselves.
Okay, one last question. Do you have a pet dragon now? He's gonna look at Aurora.
Absolutely. Why would you?
I guarantee you, if Ishneer heard anybody refer to her as a pet, anybody, they would be an icicle.
Like she was gonna point to Aurora.
Yeah, exactly. So, no.
Ooh.
Probably worse because she would actually be mad at them.
Right. So, please just drop it. You two still need to sleep. Our watch isn't exactly over. Get the rest of your sleep so that
I can take the rest.
No, get the rest of your sleep so that we can get this done. And then we'll wake you up when it's time.
Right.
I'll try to sleep.
Use your music box.
Oh, I forgot about the music box.
I mean, right, but
I'm gonna toss Ree the last of the salted venison.
Okay, you remove that from your inventory. Ree,
Yep, there wasn't a ton left.
Oh,
So.
what was it, like a pound or pound and a half?
Well, it was 3 pounds, and then Doc and I split some of it. So whatever was left from that.
Okay, so we'll say
about a pound left.
Yeah, we'll say there's like a pound of salted meat is no bullshit. That's a big bag of beef jerky.
Yeah, but it's Ree.
Right.
True.
So hopefully it's a nice little snack to fall asleep.
Yeah. So I'm tossing Ree a nice little salted venison snack.
In the last 2 days, Ree has eaten 2 gnomish macaroons. A pound of salted meat that's good. That's good shit.
That's good shit.
What?
All right,
Macaroni?
all right, we'll go.
Doc will look at Gray and say, I
Wine also
understand.
helps me sleep.
She'll give him a gold.
All right, she throws you a gold piece, and you're like, cling, and you look at it, and you're like, oh shit, this is gnomish print.
Gold to sleep. It's more than I need. Go ahead.
Gray is out.
All right.
Okay, so there are 2 more hours while Gray and Ree rest the remainder of their shift. Is there anything that needs to happen between Doc and Aurora? I mean, I already know that fucking answer, but for the sake of...
Doc would kind of motion for her to come up this way so we're not sitting so close.
Oh no, she's being an assassin again.
You wish.
Bitch, you wouldn't even know.
I don't know. I've seen her attempt assassination.
That's true. Not only that, but you saw her. You knew she was coming to kill you when it happened. When it had to happen. So, anyways, I digress. Sorry. Go ahead.
We don't have to. In fact, we're not going to talk about this tonight. Because if everybody doesn't rest, we're screwed for this journey. So. I'm not mad. Just disappointed.
That's worse.
So that's the first time that Aurora has ever heard that line. And she was not expecting that to cut more deeply than anything any weapon Doc has ever used. So she winces visibly.
It's just.
Can you be mad at me instead?
Takes too much energy.
Can you eat a gnomish macaron and then be mad at me instead?
I think that you have a lot to figure out. And that's why you didn't share. And that's what I'm going to tell myself until you decide to share.
There's not a whole lot more to share. Meepo unlocked things Meepo wasn't meant to be. Found what was meant to be. Bloodline, apparently. I don't entirely know. I have magic now. It's not going to make my hair fall out or open a third eye. I can help protect. That is essentially it.
Do not be ashamed of what you are, granddaughter. Tell her. Embrace your fate. You chose it.
She's gonna close her eyes for a moment and sigh and say, and I am the great-granddaughter of Asheraladon, and I chose to follow that so that I could better help, that I could better serve as your Aurora, your barrier between this and that.
Oh my god, I needed those chin licks better, or more than you can even fucking comprehend. That was so cute.
She's so sweet.
Oh, I miss that baby.
You're ruining the moment, lady.
God damn it, lady! You're so sweet and so cute. I just want to give you all the hugs and kisses and cookies in the world, but fuck. She is so sweet, though.
She's like, I can tell you're upset. I don't know why, so I'm gonna come fix it.
Yeah, she's like, oh, hey, by the way.
My bad.
Yeah, so you need there's a gnome you need to go and give chin licks to, okay?
Look, I've been told to shut up twice tonight, and I'm a gold poorer than I was before all of this started, so it's
I'm a
it's
gold
fine.
pourer. It's true. It's so sad, but it's true.
I take time to process things too.
She's gonna nod and just... I really wasn't trying to hide things. I don't know the rules of this game yet. I know that I can help, that it was what was meant to be, that when I chose this it all felt a bit right. And I didn't think it changed a whole lot besides what had already very obviously changed. Wasn't trying to hide. I have nothing to hide.
Doc, make a insight check.
16.
So, a couple of things. First of all, she's not lying to you. What she is saying, although it may seem archaic or out of character, does not mean that she is hiding anything or withdrawing anything as far as information is concerned. Second, the fact that she just confessed to you, supposedly, that she is the granddaughter or great-granddaughter of Asheraladon is psychotic, but not unfathomable because of what you, who have been a player since day one and have understood all of the shit about Ashur-Aladan in the Sunless Citadel, it is not an unfathomable thing for you to comprehend. Dragons of that caliber did spread their bloodline regularly throughout populations, especially those who had cultists following them, in order to seed further bloodlines down the generations with their energy to potentially bring them back should they get completely fucking annihilated. Ashur-Aladan hasn't been seen or heard from in generations at this point, and the fact that she has just come forward with this and has had a physical manifestation, meaning the white to the red dragon scales. This dragon just dropped down in front of you and essentially submitted to her completely for healing, gave you a gift, and then took off. This rings as truth to you. Whether or not you want to accept that, that is okay, but it does ring as some semblance of truth. And currently, it is not harming you or your friends. Do what you will with that.
I can't pretend to understand what you're going through right now. I haven't had crazy voices in my head. I haven't suddenly emerged from an egg in the morning. I haven't had my powers controlled by somebody else at any point. So I can't relate to where you're at. And unless I could, I don't think I'd know how I'd react in your situation. But I can tell you that I'm here to support you. As long as what you're doing isn't evil, I'll help. If what you start doing is evil, we're gonna have a problem. Because I won't support you in that.
I am here to have your back. And she just kind of half shrugs. And does not repent her sins now.
I know. That hasn't been a doubt at any point. I guess the problem is that everybody that I have put my trust into since I decided that I was bored as a surgeon, not everybody, most people that I put my trust into, have made me second guess that, and so I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Ree's the only one that hasn't. It's bizarre, and maybe I was supposed to be a goblin and not a gnome. I don't know, but that is why you got the drastic reaction you got, because I can tell you with certainty that you would have been the first to know if it was me.
Yeah, well, I
don't want to make you feel worse. I'm just explaining where I was coming from. Let's just drop it. Let's move on. If shit starts getting crazy, or if you start losing control and you don't say something about it, we're gonna have a problem. I'm just telling you. I'm not threatening you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm telling you what will happen. We will have a problem if things start going evil.
I am not the bard.
Right. But you also the thing here is that he had opportunities to leave. He had opportunities to do what he did before. I don't know if you caught it earlier, but he said my previous family. It indicates he thinks or feels he has a family now, right? Shut up, Lucy.
Talking mad shit behind that mic.
So, whether or not he wants to admit it, he cares, at least I can say with certainty he cares for Ree. Maybe not as deeply as she'd like him to, but he cares for her. And if somebody like that is able to slowly claw his way out of the depths to which he has fallen, then there's hope for all of us. I don't want to see you get to that point. I'm not comparing you to him by any means. She'll like grab your chin and make you look at her, like eye to eye, by any means. She'll let go.
Yep. She's gonna keep holding eye contact, whether being held or not. Although if Gray wakes up at this point, we're both fucked because of this angling. But she's gonna keep making eye contact and say, just softly with a little bit of hurt, "Do you think I've fallen?"
No, I don't. I
Do you
just
think
worry.
that this is worse than the evil that I came from? Do you think that anything that I have done shows that? She's just gonna kind of just breathe out and kind of a shaky exhale and then look away.
I don't think it's more evil than the evil you came from, but it's unpredictable, and that's the part that worries me.
It is not unpredictable, great-granddaughter. You've risen from the ashes of your former self, a simple slaver and nothing but a pawn in existence, to that of something, finally, in your miserable life, with purpose. Embrace your purpose. The gnome knows what she's talking about.
And I know that sometimes it takes drastic things for... Look, she wouldn't stop talking just because you're getting a secret message.
Yeah, fuck off!
A secret message. I have a message.
I wish it was cool goblin sending you messages so I could talk in, like, sweet voices instead of, like, raspy, like, you know, emo kid voices.
You got a key root.
Crackhead goblin!
I know that sometimes it takes drastic things to happen to find your true power or find your true inner self or whatever the case may be. I also know the importance of bloodlines to dragons, and if that is truly what's talking to you, then this is huge and amazing and great. The thing is that I heard what was coming out of Gray. I haven't heard yours, and so just do me... Here's the only thing that I'll ask you for. If you start feeling losing control, please just say something. Because if you don't, and then I end up losing you, it's going to be a lot harder if it was something that could have been prevented.
You know that thing where it's like two and it's like they put forehead against forehead and it's that kind of like being able to look and be like the I'm there kind of thing? Yeah. So she does that, assuming Doc doesn't pull away.
No, she wouldn't pull away.
As that happens, Doc, you not only feel a physical warmth against your own skull, but you smell sulfur on her breath.
Well, this is suddenly a lot less sweet than I intended 2 seconds ago as she says this, but she says, "I promise."
Okay. If you thought I was disappointed today, imagine how disappointed I'll be if you break that promise. And she kind of smiles and then, like, looks away, clearly trying to get rid of this gross, serious bullshit.
Yeah, or I could just wake up in an egg tomorrow with wings. You don't know.
If you have wings, you better fly us all out of this bullshit.
still shorter than you, but at least some of us will make it past this bullshit.
Strong. Dragons are strong.
All right, so the two of you ride out the rest of your watch, which is only about an hour and a half at this point. And it's at that point that you wake up Gray and Ree. And the two of you settle into the, I assume, monkey pelt cocoon. God, that is such a weird phrase to say out loud.
I will press the digitation on it before bed, because it's been a couple of days / a week.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking gross and musty, and you still haven't scraped all the fat out of it, and some of it's starting to curdle and get just rancid. But you clean it to the best of your ability. You hit it with prestidigitation, and there's like this like burst of lavender that kind of coats the inside, and you're like, oh, it's still warm and way less stinky than it was when I unrolled it.
We're gonna put that cantrip through its face.
That poor cantrip is just getting abused. So Gray and Ree, you awake, and you know that it is now officially your shift. Is there anything that either of you would like to discuss or accomplish during this time?
Well, Ree would be first and foremost doing her patrol around the camp.
Okay, go ahead and
gonna sneak up on them.
Give me a perception check to start with, as you are doing your patrol. Gray, how about you? What are you doing?
I guess since dragons were mentioned, he's gonna like look on the, I guess, edges up top.
Okay, you can either roll your own perception check, or you can assist Ree in hers. Your choice.
And would you like advantage or should you know?
I mean, Reed is kind of like literally walking the perimeter, so I would say probably.
Yeah, make your own. Yep. I'm assuming your perception is honestly way fucking higher than Ree's. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Just a little.
Wow. The 15 points higher. Okay, so Ree, as you are walking the lower edge of the interior of this valley, Gray, you are looking up at the more important part, and that is the fucking area where flying creatures can get in. And throughout the entirety of the watch, you notice no signs of Ishmir. There is no storm cloud that forms over you. There are no hail pellets that rain down upon you. There is not even a crackle of lightning or a roll of thunder in the distance that would lead you to believe that this creature is approaching, or any natural occurrence of a storm. It is a clear night. You can see the stars. It is cold, but it is not that cold. So, as you're doing that, as you're walking around and keeping patrol, is there anything you would like to do on top of that? Also, who has the satchel right now? Was that Aurora? Okay, thank you.
Oh, I am snuggling the warmth potion because yes.
Sorry, Doc, you're just not warm enough.
Not tonight.
Nope, I've got enough cold shoulder from her. I need the warmth potions to help.
The cold shoulder and the warm monkey pelt. This is a weird.
Ew.
And warm potions.
Double you.
I have something I want to do.
Yeah, please.
Not particularly for Ree. She's just, like I said, just pretty much just patrolling the entire time. Just looking out for any kind of beasties, but apparently she's just thinking about baby goblin toads the entire time.
And they're so fucking cute. Every time that you think about it, Gray, the baby, because Ree's just like talking out loud, like, oh, you know, niece this, nephew that, tickle, 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 baby, 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 ow, my fucking finger, you bitch. You're like, oh, Goblin Society is just savage as fuck. So, Gray, what are you doing during this time, then, as you're keeping an eye out? Well, Aurora, or excuse me, no, oh, I said Aurora. As Aurora is sleeping, as Ree is very meticulously going around the base of this mountain, of this ravine, and then down towards the cave mouth where you guys know the shrine is. You are keeping an eye up top. What are you doing?
Okay, so I think after I give like a look around, Gray is gonna, kind of similar to what Aurora did, he's gonna kind of just stare at one of the shadows, because someone's been very silent recently. And as well as he's the last one that might know what happened to Aurora, what the fuck is going on. Because the last one so he's gonna turn to Shadow Man, to his shadow, and kind of just in his head go, "Are you there? You okay?"
Ah, Mr. Gray. It's about time you called me out to play.
And in front of you, Gray, as you look at the cooking set, the abandoned cooking set down here to the southwest of you, you see a shadow rise up in the moonlight, horns form, and stare down at you expectingly.
You've been quiet for a while. Is everything okay where you are?
I've had nothing to say, Mr. Gray. Although I'm glad to see you're okay. Why do you call upon me now? Is it because of the sad face upon your friend's brow?
Well, no, first off, it was actually somewhat out of concern, because you normally speak more. But now that you're okay, I do actually have a question. So, Aurora's been acting strange since I gave you the stone, which I don't regret whatsoever, but do you maybe know what's happening? After all, apparently a frost dragon just popped in and said, "Here's a bag of potions," or something.
Make a persuasion check and do it with advantage only because of the gift you've given this entity. I hate what I just asked you to do. Yeah.
I think I'll take the 20.
Yeah,
Seduce
okay.
the shadow, Lucy. Seduce the shadow.
Oh, God. No, I don't think I will.
Mr. Gray. We have successfully allowed the creature which has hunted you since you attempted to shroud. She, or more recently, Aurora, has always had the bubbling font within her very being, though she's not been allowed to show it because, well, she didn't want Doc seeing. And that's okay, Mr. Gray, because she is furious deep within and bubbles up with fonts of lava. Well, Mr. Gray, I don't have anything to rhyme with that, to be honest with you, but hear me clearly. The Aurora Beast now sees clearly. She is what she has always meant to be and see and do. And as for you, watch quietly from the distance and to make sure to say adieu if her time comes to an end. Mr. Gray, seize the opportunity and whisk her away. But if that opportunity never comes, that's all right. Because remember, you're still in the presence of a glitter bright.
And you see the shadow recede into the ground.
He's gonna just kind of stare at it for a bit. And then think. So first I had to steal a stone, now you're asking me to steal a body. Alright. And then he's gonna go, by the way, the rhymes are just extra. They're just to be cool, let's be honest.
You feel a presence kind of wash over you, and you hear,
You're not wrong about that, Mr. Gray. And if you decide to come out and play... Alright, I suppose I'm fucking done with this. Listen to me closely and listen to me wise. The Aurora creature will be your demise. She sees through the facade, and she sees through the bullshit. She will alert the others that you are the culprit.
and the voice recedes from your mind with a I don't know how I just improv those rhymes. Where I failed, I accept, but god damn it.
You know, it's now almost profitable.
Actually, I want to say one last thing.
Sure.
Despite the shadow dissipating again. So he's just gonna, I guess, stand staring at the cooking pot and go, I've had to think of my past a lot recently. Thanks to no short to our glitter bright friend. If she's there with you, tell her it's gonna be great to see her again when all this is over. And then he's gonna go back to his watch without listening.
Okay, understood. Yes. Got it. Hold on. I gotta take a note. Goddamn, Lucy. All right. So, Gray, you step away from the pot. As you turn around, and you ignore it, and no presence re-enters your mind. Nothing forces itself upon you as far as that's concerned. It is just said, and you go, no, done, and it ends. Ree finishes her round, kind of like coming back around towards the pot. And as you see Ree approaching the pot, you both realize that the sun is now rising heavily in the west. And you know it's probably about time to get the other two up.
Alright, well, baby, it's rise and shine. Let's fucking get this shit done.
Hey, Ree, maybe you should tickle their toes like you would the baby goat.
Ooh. It's a great idea.
Are you tickling their toes?
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah!
If this happens, I want to wake up with fire.
So, whoa, hold on. What kind of fire?
Cantrip fire.
Okay, so yeah, like all of a sudden, in the throes of your deepest dreams, which are kind of half and half peaceful, both of you wake up to Ree, one finger on each of your toes, Aurora on the left toe, and Doc on the right. And both of you kind of God, fuck, what the fuck?
and look around for her Timbers family members and then realize they're not there and be sad for a second.
I picture Aurora, especially with all the dragony stuff on the brain, would straight up just wake up with the words of like one of the fiery cantrips on her lips. I don't actually want to hurt Ree. However, if
Yeah,
we're
so
gonna
like
instinct test, then I'm committing to this bit.
Aurora just like sits up, snaps her fingers, and there's this jet of flame that shoots upwards as she stares you in the eyes, Ree. And Doc sits up and just kind of like, ah! And kind of like slaps your hand away, like, no, don't tickle me, Elmo.
Yeah, Ree yelps and then like just staggers away, like, oh, sorry.
I think once Doc realized that it was Ree and then saw what Aurora was doing, it would be like a hand over the mouth, slap her other hand down, like try to interrupt the casting thing because Ree hates magic fire.
Yeah, well,
Good morning.
She would absolutely stop the second she was actually like fully awake and realizing, but also she would continue to stare at Ree for a moment longer to make the point, and then just.
I don't think she liked that very much, Ree.
Yeah, I get that. I'm getting that now.
And then she'll slowly remove her hand from Aurora's mouth.
As you successfully held back the somatic components, the verbal components of the cantrip that was potentially going to torch the fuck out of Ree. So, as everybody comes to, you gather yourselves momentarily, and you prepare to move forward from the location that you're in. However, in doing so, because there was a short rest, quote-unquote, within the long rest, Aurora, you have successfully, through your own sleep and involvement, which was about 7.5 hours or so, not bad for an adult, the potions inside your satchel that you were given from Ishmir were 2 potions of fire breath and a single potion of clairvoyance. And you are confident in what they are and how they operate. You can add those to your inventory.
Okay. I do have a very important question. Do you have to consume the eyeball?
So, okay, so your choice. You can either make a nature check due to the alchemical nature of this potion, or you can make an arcana check based on the magical nature of the potion. And I haven't... Oh, that's fucking terrible.
Yeah, you know what? At least there was a positive, though.
It seems... It's pretty convincing that this fucking eyeball is bouncing around inside of this thing, so yeah, you probably gotta drink it.
Yeah, probably wouldn't be the worst thing that she's consumed. She's had Reese cooking.
It's true, you've had eyeball before, and you've had way worse than eyeball.
Didn't even bother trying to cook the eyeball.
It was red eyeball.
I was a red eyeball. You didn't even notice it was boba.
I hate everything that.
Note to self, do not go get boba tomorrow like I had planned.
I know. We were just talking about the same thing. She's like, "Can we get sweet tea boba tomorrow?" And I was like, "Can we though?" Not now. Yeah, not anymore.
I'm still gonna get it.
Fish egg soup. Okay. Anyways,
So 2 of fire breathing and 1 of clairvoyance.
So yeah, it's 2 potions of fire breathing and 1 potion of clairvoyance.
Okay. For the record, 2 of them are going in the bag of holding in the original satchel, and then 1 of the potions of fire breathing is going on my person because fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Okay, so with that being said, it is 10 o'clock on the dot. We will end here tonight, and then we will pick up next weekend with you guys making the last leg of the journey from where you are to the to Grell, if you want to go to Grell. So you will have 2 options between then and now. You either go into the sanctum that is right behind you and activate the totem to go to Underhill, or you can go to Grell and then to Helmcar. I have all of those options prepared, so there is no pressure any way, shape, or form on my end. And that'll be that. So, Any questions, clarifications, concerns, comments before we end tonight?
Well, if you're asking for concerns.
Oh, I finally asked for fucking concerns. Here we
I
go.
have many concerns, please. I don't think we have enough time.
I also have a concern. First of all, how dare you? Yeah, first off, how dare you? No, okay, so yeah, we'll go ahead. You guys will end there for tonight, and yeah, we'll pick back up. We'll pick back up next week. I will not do XP recap, but there was a lot of RP XP, and we are creeping ever closer to level 9. So that's awesome.
I just want to say, dragon scene, cool as fuck.
Yeah,
Holy
that
crap.
was
really the way it was, yeah.
Sometimes this weird shit that you guys drag me into just it gets weird, and I'm like, I start writing things and I'm like, I'm only gonna write loose things because roleplay always dictates how things will go. So if I write it finite, I feel like married to it, and then I roleplay with Kat and I'm like, oh, okay, well, fuck. Alright. Or I roleplay with fucking Rhea, and I'm like, I was not expecting any of that, but since we're on
the opposite direction.
Since we're on the subject of goblin orgies, let's roll with it.
I think I just mommed Kat all night, so...
Which is awesome by me, because Candace is the mother of my children, so I'm just like, wow, she just... Alright, we just fucking doing it to it.
I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Oh, God.
Can you be mad at me, please? Like, I'm an ancient dragon in my head, and God, this was so much worse.
Seru, I did see your redeem. We will raid Ark.
I fucking love every interaction between Rhea and the goblins. It's always hilarious. It's fucking amazing.
Quick question. The D&D Beyond, the Fire Breath? Potion of Fire Breath has 3 charges?
Yep, nope, that is legit. You take a sip. So the way it used to work, so in 3rd edition, the Potion of Fire Breath used to work like this. You would swallow the whole potion, and then for 1 minute, you would be able to, every single round, use your action to breathe fire. Now the way it works is that you take 1 swig of it, and you breathe fire. You take another swig, you breathe fire, you take another swig, you breathe fire.
Okay. That's really cool that you don't have to down all of it at once.
It's like having a Capri Sun that you save a little bit of.
Yeah. Capri Sun at the end of the pouch.
Note to self, try adding a little bit of the Fire Belly into a Potion of Fire Breath.
Oh my fucking God. If you're seriously planning on that, please send me a message offline if that is a legitimate intention, because there is some explosive reaction. No, I'm kidding.
Fireballs.
That's what I was thinking, right? Each round you get the equivalent of an Eldritch Blast, but only fire damage at 5th level.
That's just snort fireballs for a little bit.
Oh wow, we jumped straight to cocaine. Okay, Kat.
Escalated quickly.
That's what I was thinking.
Jump straight to a death potion, like
that is true. Nope, not at all. If your benefit outweighs your negative, or your what's gonna hurt you, then no.
Yeah. Also, you gave me goblin coke yesterday, and I tried to arm wrestle our barbarian. So
that is true. You tried, and you know what? With all of his self-control, he resisted. I thought he was going to smack you in the fucking face and just knock you out.
He said you're higher than I thought you were.
Ogre's breath, baby. Okay.
That was funny.
All right, guys.
It was. I love that scene.
And that reminds me too, Lucy. I am very excited that you are joining Saturday Campaign, because your character concept, I think, is going to fit very well and very creepily with the group as a whole. So.
Another creepy character.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's gonna be. He's
That's
creepy.
true.
He's not edgy, but it's gonna be funny because Xavier and I were talking about it last night, and if I told Lucy, I'm like, if his character comes in and tries to woo
bye,
who
guys.
is currently interested in the barbarian, it's gonna be very funny. It's gonna be very funny because the barbarian's not gonna have that.
No promises for that.
I'm just gonna look
Oh, no,
forward
no.
to not being the new kid anymore.
I know.
Like, I
know.
get to scare